Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the grand opening of Lions League Season 3. Today, we are going to be kicking off the action with some CSGO, and we have some fantastic teams lined up for you today. We have the finest CSGO players that the Call have to offer in the Royal Engineers and the Royal Artillery. That is the Sappers versus the Gunners. Today's lineups. Coming in for the Royal Engineers, we have Power without Gingerut, J-Shop, and Bo. They are a stacked lineup. And on the opposing team, for the artillery, for the Gunners, we have BM, Big JD, Browse, McDonald, Mason or Basman. That will be confirmed on the server. We are just in the warm-up stages at the moment. We are just getting the players into the server. We will be going live with the game at 7:15. So you're just going to have to bear with me for just a moment. I will hope to keep you entertained in the meantime. As you can see, new graphics pack this season. And, whilst you wait for the map to load in, you can enjoy some... There we go. We got overpass and train over on the right-hand side of your screens right now. So you can keep yourselves busy by learning a couple of those. So I have a few things to go over the game. I've just done the map pick and bans. So for today, the first players to ban were the Royal Artillery side, and they have banned Dust 2. The second map to go was Inferno. So already two of the most common maps in the entirety of Counter-Strike have been removed. And this makes me very, very excited because I am a personal huge fan of the first pick, which is the Royal Artillery's pick. That will be Nuke. Nuke is such a fantastic map. I honestly cannot wait. It's always so exciting when I'm casting Nuke, especially for the Lions League. It's a nightmare for the observer because of the multiple levels, but as a caster, it is so much fun. And these two teams are stacked. I honestly cannot wait to see how Nuke plays out. I know from personal experience that Power is actually not a fan of the map Nuke. So this is a massive bonus for the Royal Artillery. Power is a Faceit level 10, one of the statistically greatest players in the Lions League tournament. And for the first map to be on one that he's not comfortable with, this is a good sign for the Royal Artillery, for the Gunners. On the flip side, the second picked map for the Sappers will be Overpass. And Overpass is my personal favorite map. Personal favorite map to cast, personal favorite map to play. I just love it. I honestly cannot wait to see how everything goes on there. Then the second map ban for the Royal Artillery was Mirage. So that is the most common map in CSGO Wipe Clean. We are on all the exciting maps today, and honestly, I cannot wait. The second map ban for the Royal Engineers will be Vertigo. So Vertigo has been struck off as well. A map that's not particularly favoured by many of the Counter-Strike players. I feel like that was the most uncommon map played of the entirety of 2020, and for good reason. It has had so many map changes, but of course Vertigo is not what I am here to discuss today. The final map, of course, the map that is left over is Train, and if these two teams play like we know that they can, we should be seeing a 3-map series. That is my prediction for today, ladies and gents. We will be having a 3-map series. I honestly don't know who's going to take this. I know producer Alex is a big fan of the Sappers. I know the Gunners have some strong supporters out here too. I'm very much looking forward to seeing who does come out on top. My predictions for today, I think that the Royal Artillery are going to win Nuke. That's my first prediction. I think that the Royal Engineers are going to win Overpass. And for Train, I genuinely have no idea. But I think for Train, I'm going to have to go with Sappers. So my prediction for today is that Sappers are going to take this 2-1, but it's going to be an incredibly close game. I know the teams have been training incredibly hard for Season 3 of Lions League, and there's a lot at stake as well. This season, there is a £500 prize pool for CSGO, League of Legends, and Call of Duty Division 1. So there is lots on the line. It is both for fun and for glory, and that always generates some fantastic competition. Will we see some flashy plays? Will we see some incredible utility site takes? I do not know. All I know is that these teams have been practicing hard, and this should be a great show. I will be looking at chat throughout this as well. Curious to see who people in chat are looking to vote for. We got the Gunners Esports themselves in chat, so that's always good. They've showed up to support the boys. And so far, I see a lot of support for the Gunners. Alrighty, Gunner's currently in the lead on the audience vote. I'll check back with that in just a moment to see where we're going there. Also, it is worthy of note, ladies and gentlemen at home, you too can join in the action for Season 3 of the Lions League. We have opened up a bit of a public side of things. So what you want to do to join in the fun is go to lionsleague.co.uk, sign up for an account, and then click the links on the homepage. It will take you to the sign-up pages for a Warzone tournament that we will be running every Saturday at around 7:30 p.m. There is also a Faceit Hub that you can join. It's currently just being revamped. That will be re-released in just a day or so. But on this Faceit Hub, there is a $200 prize pool split between a 2v2 and 1v1 hub. There is the potential that this will just be a 1v1 hub starting from tomorrow or the day after. And also, if you are a member of the military yourself and you would like to get involved in one of these Faceit Hubs, we are going to be putting up a little bit of that prize money towards an army hub for you to enjoy. We are really trying to expand this season, and evidence to prove this is we are adding League of Legends as a game to the portfolio as well. We are going to be broadcasting every single weekday. We have CSGO today. We got League of Legends tomorrow. I believe we have Call of Duty Division 1 on the Wednesday. I'm not entirely sure of the schedule after that, but all I know is each game will receive a 2-2-1 format. They will either have 2 or 1 games per week broadcast here on the Lions League and EFL channels, and that's in a rotation, so it's fair for everybody. But the opening game for today is CSGO. Obviously, my passion. I love CSGO. I love the Lions League. Everything about this has been incredible. I've actually been the one managing it this year, so there's a lot riding on this for me. I'm very, very excited. As I keep on mentioning, though, I think this is going to go off with a bang. We're going to have some excellent Counter-Strike. Tomorrow we're going to have some fantastic League of Legends, and then on Wednesday we'll have some incredible Call of Duty. There is so much stuff for you to get involved with. We'll be here every night at either 7 or 8 p.m. 7 for CSGO and League of Legends, and 8 p.m. for Call of Duty. So we are almost ready to go into the server. We should just about be ready. I'm sure my producer will be whispering into my ear very shortly, telling me we will be switching over to the players. I believe that the Royal Engineers will be going to the game soon. I have just heard. That is excellent stuff. I will keep you entertained for just a couple more seconds until we do switch over. What was I going to say? Royal Engineers are going to do something. It's all right. Moving on. Now, as I was saying, these two are some of the strongest teams, both very much in contention to take the entire tournament here. I believe every team for CSGO will be playing each other 3 times, and there is a league table that you can access for both CSGO and every esport we have here, including Call of Duty Division 2, on the lionsleague.co.uk website if you want to go and check that out. And also on the homepage, if you scroll down, there is a calendar where you can find every single event being played across every single day of the week. And if we aren't going to be broadcasting that game, we will still keep the scores updated, and we will try and keep you updated through Twitter and Instagram with what is going on in the meantime. Very exciting stuff. So if you have any questions, feel free to join the Lions League Discord if you would like a link to that. I'm sure someone will provide you with one. We have a couple of moderators knocking about in the chat today. But yeah, everything is looking swell. We are just waiting for a couple of the players to ready up in the server, and then we should be going live. I'm a little bit nervous. I have not done a proper cast such as this in quite some time. Obviously, the resident caster for Lions League Season 2, but that was back many months ago. I believe that ended in early November, late October of last year. So the players have obviously had a lot of time to recuperate, bring up some new rosters. I know for a fact there's a bunch of new players joining us for Season 3, and all of these players have been tried and tested by their respective teams. Obviously, each team is very much respected in my books and those of the Army. But yeah, obviously there's a couple of hitches. There is obviously a global pandemic going on at the moment, and a few of our players have been deployed to help with this effort. So best of luck to them. Hopefully they will stay safe whilst they're out there on the front lines. A very different front line to what this country is used to. So, respect goes out to them, and obviously that cannot be helped. So there will be a couple of new faces, a couple of substitutions. We've accounted for that, and hopefully everything should run smoothly on that front. As I said, server should be going live in just a moment. We should be switching over. I remember what I was going to say now. I believe the Royal Engineers are going to be starting on the CT side for Nuke, and I believe the Royal Artillery are going to be starting on the CT side for Overpass. I can double check that for you in just a moment. But yeah, I'm going to have another quick look at chat. Lovely stuff. Oh yeah, I mean something else that I could mention. I am wearing my British Army Esports / Help for Heroes jersey today to show my support with my wonderful AOZAT cap on top. Big thank you to AOZAT for helping allow everything to do with Lions League to happen. They fronted the prize pool. They are hiring all the stuff. This is very much a non-profit thing for them, and I hope that everyone enjoys the show, really. It's been a long time in the making, a long time planning. We've got we got a clicker board at the bottom of our screen today. I mean, what more do you want from a graphic? Anyway, if you haven't met me before, I am Tom Taylor, or Sneaky Beaky TTV on Twitch and Twitter. I have been casting for the Army for a while now. So I'll tell you what, let's have a look at the individual players. I've played with a couple of them, and I do know a lot of them. The people to look out for on the server today, from the list of 10 that I've read out to you, definitely Power. I think everyone in the Army can agree with me that Power is very much a man of many talents when it comes to CSGO. He's a star fragger for a lot of games and can often be the most impactful man on the server. But that is not to take away from any else of these fantastic players in either lineup. With Power is Without. Without is another stellar player. Certainly improved from when I started watching him in Lions League Season 2. He's improved his Faceit stats, he's improved his fragging, he's improved all of it. On the flip side, we've got BM. BM was a monster. I played a game with the Army very recently. It was a friendly 5v5. BM on the AWP was near unstoppable. He played impeccably well. And if he can carry on the form he played over the past couple of weeks, then we should be in for a treat, and we should be seeing a very dangerous AWP rifler coming into the server. Big JD, another name to look out for, as well as Bradders. Big JD and Bradders, also on a very high skill level, should be providing us with some incredible fragging. And, I mean, the rest of the players as well. I'm unfamiliar with Gingerut. I believe he did play a game in Season 2, but there's not too much I can say about him for the time being. McDonald I am not familiar with. And Bazman, if he's in the server, he's given me quite a few things to shout about last season. Otherwise, Mason, I am also unfamiliar with. We do have Doggo and J Shop on the flip side. That's back on the Engineers lineup. And they are also very competent, very valuable players. I don't think there's a single quote-unquote weak link in either of these two teams today. So, yeah, we really should be in for a treat. Also, today I'm gonna change things up a bit personally. After the map, I am going to go to you and see who your MVP of the game is. It's no real sort of prize behind it, apart from incredible bragging rights for the player awarded with the people's vote. But yes, after this game, in fact, after every map, and then after the entire best of 3, I'm going to gauge who your MVP is for the day. And well, obviously, 10 spots for this MVP slot. I think I've got a couple of names in mind who, if they show up to play at the capacity we know that they can, they will definitely be in contention. So, Magical Voice in the Sky, Alex, do you know when we'll be hopping over into the server? I will wait for Magical Voice in the Sky to get back to me in just a moment. But yes, let's talk about the... okay, I have just been informed by the voice in the sky, the magical Alex, that one of the coaches, and that's a new thing for this year, we are actually allowing coaches in the server. Obviously, Valve has just banned coaches from being in the server with their players for all Valve-sponsored events. That was quite unpopular, so we are taking the people's side on this one, and we are going to be allowing coaches in the server for online tournaments. We are, putting our trust in the players. They will not be doing anything mischievous. And of course, we do have a stream delay on as well for when we go into the actual game. We are using the GOTV link. So the server is free for the coaches and players. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this runs out. I do believe this is the first time we've had proper coaches in the server with their players. So will this make any difference? I'm not entirely sure who the coaches are. I will have to get back to you on that one. This looks like it could be an exciting addition for this season. Going back to the maps, I was talking about how I felt that Power wasn't particularly confident on Nuke, and he may disagree with me saying this, but last time I played Nuke with the man, he seemed incredibly fed up of the map. And shout out to Tyler, who did actually carry us in that game, narrowly losing by 1 round, 16-14, or 2 rounds. True tragedy indeed. But yeah, Power was not the strongest player on Nuke. I mean, if you give him an AWP or a rifle, you give him a spot where people come towards him without utility, without any particular strategy, then sure, yeah, he can mow them down. But positioning is something, obviously, this has been a couple of weeks since I've had this experience with him. I'm sure the fact that they haven't banned it as their instant ban, he has definitely been working on it. I'd like to see if they have any good utility executes coming through on that map. We got a couple of people chiming into the conversation. Without going to bottle the AWP duel with BM, says Solrak. Fighting talk from the audience already. I'm looking forward to seeing if any of that comes into fruition. But, well, I tell you what, Nuke is definitely going to be an interesting one. If you come out swinging on your CT side, and that's for the Royal Engineers, if they come out swinging on their CT side, they pick up 9 or 10 rounds. I think that despite me predicting the Gunners to take map 1, they do definitely stand a chance of stealing that away and, of course, ruining my prediction in the process. Obviously, producer Alex has a little bit of a bias when he says he's voting for the Sappers. I think Alex said a 2-0 for the Sappers, which I do find quite unlikely. I'll be honest, these teams are very, very stacked. And as Solrak jested, we do have a very strong AWPer on the side of the Royal Artillery. BM has definitely been putting in the practice. He's come a long way since I demolished him in the 1v1s. You know, I get to make fun of them here. I have all the power here as the caster, but as soon as I get off of this seat, I'm going to get absolutely berated, I can tell. But, yeah, Vertigo Prodigy Solrak. Cheering on the players, always good to see. What can I say? I'm going to make these jokes now whilst I have, caster's immunity, whilst I'm in my little bubble, in my little square window. I'm untouchable from the outside world. And I'm sure all of this will come back to bite me. Okay, I have received word from the voice in the skies that we will be starting shortly. Apologies for the small delay. Some things cannot be helped. This was, of course, a connection problem for one of the coaches. This has now been rectified, and we should be getting underway ever so shortly. I have just heard in my ear 30 seconds, and then we will be going live with, I believe, the pistol round, and I cannot wait. So, once we get into this game, of course, first map, Nuke. What's I going to say? Pistol rounds, I don't really know who is going to be stronger on this here pistol round. Like, it really is up in the air. I'm curious to see what kind of strategies they employ as well. Will the T's be going for the ramp, the A split, the rush to B through secret? I feel like we have a lot of confident aimers on the server today. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of fights. And here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are going into the server now. Hopefully you can hear the game audio. So to start things off, we got without jiggling with the USP outside. Looking for any information on that front. And it will be Hubs. I'm not entirely sure who Hubs is. I apologize. He was not on the list of names given to me. But Hubs will find the opening frag, and Mason will fall from the server. Mason will be playing instead of Bazman today. Those are 2 interchangeable players there. Without still playing around outside, isn't going to see anybody just yet. I take that back. I think he just about spies the edge of Bradders, and now BM is coming outside as well. In fact, we got multiple players coming towards outside. All 4 Ts now making their way down as Without tries to fight them off. Without isn't going to find anyone just yet. Power now coming down from ramp to try and meet up with this aggression. They do have the man advantage on the CT side, but BM now finds J-Shot. Bradders finding Hubs. Now a 4 versus 3 situation. Power finds ahead of McDonald. He's looking for more, but BM swings wide, finds the kill onto Power. Now a 3 versus 2 situation with the T-side. Ginger Nut swinging in, but Big JD will take him down with a Glock headshot. Now a 3 versus 1 situation. Glass will be smashed by Without. He's looking for the frag on stairs, but he isn't going to be able to find it. Only 11 HP left on the remaining CT. This looks like a Royal Artillery round to me. Without trying to get anything done here. Slowly making his way down towards the spot. He's going to open double doors, but Bradders, an instant headshot into Without with the P2000, I believe that was. And the first round on the board goes to the Royal Artillery. The first round of Lions League Season 3 goes in favour of the Gunners. And what a pistol we had there. Off the back of their pistol, we will be seeing the Royal Artillery buying up into 4 rifles here and an MP7. Good utility across the board as well. Meanwhile, it will just be pistols and grenades for the Royal Engineers. A lot of presence towards ramp here from the Royal Engineers, but to no avail, as it looks like outside an A are where the Royal Artillery are going to be trying to hit here. And a bit of a slower pace round here. They know how deadly pistols can be if they rush into them carelessly. They do need to play for trades, and they need to play this one carefully. BM does make some noise on the roof, and the vents are broken. But BM, I don't think he's in a position where he... Oh, I take that back. Power will have heard BM jumping around on the roof, so they do have a little bit of info there. They hear him jumping around and dropping off, and this could be utility execute. But they are playing this round incredibly slowly. But here comes the utility. BM now around the back. He's actually going to get taken down by a USP. Without with a USP, takes down an AK player. But Bradders and Mason D are very quick to pick the pieces. Back to a 4 versus 3 here. And whilst they have lost an AK, they do still have a huge advantage. They have the full armor. They have the full weaponry in comparison to nothing but mere pistols. They were unable to scavenge that AK on the PT side. Power is low. Ginger Nut does still have a grenade, but he's also been taken down to 42 points of health. We got Power waiting in the vent. See if he can find a cheeky knife on the rotation. But for the meantime, this is a said and done round for the Royal Artillery. We might be seeing some exit frags. If J-Shot maybe quietens up a little bit, he is making noise. And this will give up his position. And there we have it, ladies and gents. J-Shop still possibly in for an exit frag here, but Bradders will take down Power in the ventilation shaft, and this should be said and done. No! J-Shop does actually find another frag with the USP. This round would have been huge if Ginger Nut had been able to save a weapon over, but unfortunately he only survives. An interesting attempt from him there. I don't believe he had armor. He really should have just gone for a kill there, as there's not much point saving over a mere P2000. But either way, the Royal Artillery take 2 casualties in a round against only pistols. That is a great effort from the Royal Engineers there. Definitely still a force to be reckoned with, even on these pistols. But for now, it will be a almost full buy round. But that will be on a scout rather than the AWP, and there are a couple of Galil still in play for the Royal Artillery side. But in the meantime, this is a far more even playing field. Without dropping a Molotov onto outside early, and that's a really well-positioned one. That's going to cut off a lot of players behind these smokes. 4 of the Royal Artillery CTs are standing next to Red Box outside. In fact, one on top of Silo, and now they're pushing round. A great shot to start things off from Without, and he's going to find Big DD on the cross. J-Shot finds BM. J-Shot finds McDonald. That's already a 3-man advantage. That's one ahead of J-Shot. Doesn't find Power. He does find Without. 3 versus 1 now. Bradders has everything to do. He's already on the A bomb site, but he does not have possession of the bomb for the time being. He's making his way through, but he has been spotted by Ginger Nut. And what a round there from the Royal Engineers. They win it out with 3 players surviving. That's going to be huge for their economy. Weapons can be dropped over full utility, and armor can be bought up on the majority of players. In the meantime, the Royal Artillery are going to be kicking themselves. They don't check their angles, and they all get mowed down in the process. I feel like one smoke grenade there would have saved them so much trouble. But they all get absolutely obliterated instead. And we will be seeing our first tactical timeout as a result of that free round. And have a look at that. Already 114 ADR on J-Shop. What an admirable statistic. And 126 on Bradders, 100 on Mason D. So they are the people to look out for so far in the early rounds of Nuke. Obviously, it is early doors. No utility damage yet to really take note of. But there is a 4 KD on Bradders. That is certainly something to take note of. Bradders is having a field day so far. A great start to this Nuke game. Obviously, it is their map pick. They are well versed on it, and they have been practicing both sides. I cannot tell you what the Royal Engineers have been up to. I'm not sure of their training regime. All I do know is this is one of their weaker maps, both statistically and in the opinions of Power. From what he told me, I believe it was a week or two ago. I'm assuming the Royal Artillery were also aware of these statistics, and now the countdown is back in session. We will be going into round 4 of our first map here on Nuke, the first map of Lions League Season 3, and boy is it good to be back. I've missed this very much, and I cannot wait for the rest of this map to go down. Already an exciting start. Early utility expended by the CTs on the A bomb site. The Ts, in the meantime, looking like they could be stacking up towards a ramp push here, potentially. Does look like there's 3 CTs in the ramp area, though. That's going to be incredibly difficult to deal with. And look at that, Hubs is boosted up. There is indeed 3 CTs on ramp. If the Ts go for this, they will be walking into a meat grinder, and there's very little opportunity for them to win out this round. However, it looks like they will be going towards A main now. Lots of utility expended from both sides. J-Shop in a great position behind this. No! BM finds J-Shop though. Gingered up with a trade, but Bradders finds him instead. 4 versus 3 situation now for the T side, and they have the A bomb site. The CTs will be scrambling to try and get anything done here. They may even want to just play for exits, because that was a confident play for Power. Confident in his own ability, goes for another frag. But Hubs instead, chiming in to make this a rebound. Bradders finds him out. Hubs, all down to him, but Bradders will find Hubs as well. And that's a 3rd round on the board for the Royal Artillery. Excellent stuff from them. With a limited buy of CTs, they get the job done. And they are making a storm in the first couple of rounds on their T side here. Power getting very overconfident, jumping up Benstead, does find the first, but the trade comes in way too quickly. The man advantage swung straight back into the favor of the CTs, and the round was over before the retake had really even begun. An excellent finisher by Bradders as well, winning out the 1 versus 2, bagging the Royal Artillery that round, and the Royal Engineers will not be happy with that one. Full deco buy coming out now with J-Shop on armor. And I think I just heard a Deagle headshot. I did indeed. Chinchina dinking BM at long range with a Deagle. What a shot from him. Unfortunately, because of the range and because BM has head armor, he won't be going down to the initial bullet, despite it being a 1 under normal circumstances. In the meantime, the Deagles do have the health advantage, but not much else going in their favor. Without's got a nice spot on B, and they are making their way into Secret. They need to be so careful for Without here as well. He doesn't take any grenade damage, and in fact, the T's are going to be walking straight back up Secret. Bomb in tow. They might want to consider making BM drop this bomb over to a player with a bit more health, because if he goes down in an inconvenient position, that is going to be nightmarish to pick up. However, the A-bomb site take comes in. Early shots don't make their mark on heaven, and J-Shot! Whoa! J-Shot with a double! That is huge damage from him, but the situation is quickly brought back under control by Bradders. He finds himself another double in the round. 3 versus 3 here. The CTs might want to try and go in for some more damage, and Power, what a 1D! Oh, he's looking for more! McDonald finds Hubs, it's back to the 2v2, and this is a winnable situation now. Bomb picked up by Big JD, but Power is making more hassle on the Deagle. He has Without coming in through A main as well. Grenade spam comes through, McDonald finds ahead of Power, and it's our 1 versus 2 for Without on just the Deagle. All the T's need to do now is tuck and trade. Without is not going to make it easy for them to find him. They have no idea where he's gone to. I'm not entirely sure why they're checking Heaven so early. He wouldn't have been able to get there in that time. And McDonald will finish out what became a far closer round than I'm sure the Artillery anticipated. Down to the 2 versus 1, and McDonald almost falling to the Deagle there, but just about keeps himself alive. And that will be a 4th on the board to the Royal Artillery. Excellent effort from the Deagles, from the Royal Engineers, though. They almost make the impossible work. And because of that excellent Deagle round for them, they will be able to afford a full buy. whilst the Royal Artillery will be grasping at Galils and a Mach 10. The limited utility on the Royal Engineers, though, it is worthy of note, and they've used a lot already. Only a smoke, a grenade, and 2 flashbangs left for the CTs, whilst the Artillery have a full arsenal of utility artillery. Hubs, in the meantime, playing the off angle on ramp. Is going to get flashed. Doesn't get checked straight away, but only good for one as BM comes in with a Mach 10 and a flashbang assist from Mason D. However, without peeking around the corner, finds Big JD, making this a 4 versus 3 situation for the CT. Without, though, is a P-shooter's shot from death, and BM has heard one in the vents. He's going to try and challenge J-Shop here, and he's actually going to win that fight with a Mach 10. That's a huge misplay from J-Shop. Power is going to get taken down by McDonald as well. 3 versus 2 situation now. They've completely spun this round on its head. Without only on 5 HP, may want to consider saving it straight away here. That is not the amount of health you want to be taking a reasonable fight with. And Ginger already far away from the action, looking perhaps to get a couple of exit frags here on ramp. No, it looks like they will both just be falling off for the time being. Bradders, if he's very lucky, will catch without in secret. But it looks like he'll be going to join his compatriot in the CT spawn. And that's a 5th round on the board for the Royal Artillery. Incredibly impressive start from them. As I said, I am confident that the Royal Artillery will take this first map, especially if they keep up a performance like this. Bradders on the hunt, checking every angle, doesn't actually have that much money. So he needs to be careful not to go down here. And he won't be able to get to CT spawn in time. So that will be a 5th round on the board for the Royal Artillery. And what a start we've had from them. Excellent stuff. And another timeout being called. I'm assuming this is a tactical timeout from the Royal Engineers here as they completely reevaluate what they are doing wrong. I feel like they've been taking some fights that they really do not need to. There's been a couple of fights that they've just got very cocky, swung some angles with no trade potential. And sometimes the trade potential is the one missing their shots, which is really damaging their chances here. I think if they had an AWPer on ramp, they do need to save up for one, of course, but if they leave one AWPer, a confident AWPer on ramp, playing the angle where he's easily able to rotate onto B, so he doesn't give himself up, like I believe it was Hubs did on ramp by playing the off angle, they'll stand a much better chance. If they play, if they play 1 outside, 3 in A, or 2 in A, 1 in heaven, who's able to fast rotate towards ramp, which is similar to what they're doing already, but they need to focus a little bit less on their mini hut, and instead just leave a player in secret to monitor the goings on and outside. I feel like that would be a good adaptation for them to employ here. And then secret player could either come up vents, make his way down to B, help with the ramp player, make his way up towards A mini itself. But the Royal Artillery, if they just keep doing what they're doing it fantastically well. And they're starting to build up a little bit of a bank balance on some of their players as well. 9 in 2 on Bradders. That is an MVP performance for map 1 if I have ever saw one. If he can keep that up, as I said, this will be a difficult attempt for the Royal Engineers here. They are going to be playing 2 on the A bomb site, but I think they just left ramp completely open here. The T's catch wind of this. This is a said and done round. They jump down towards B and they win the fight. And no, I do take it back. They have a player on ramp. But that player will be Hubs with nothing more than a 5-7 and a dream. And it looks like a ramp executes coming out. There we have it. Mason D takes down Hubs, and this should be the round for the Royal Artillery already. Without, and Gingernet will likely want to save their full Kevlar and weaponry. They're on the complete wrong bomb site. They just got to let this one slide. Power does only have a Deagle, though. He has Kevlar he can save if he wants to, but it's more reasonable to send the Deagles on a hunt. And if they get an opening frag, then send the rifles in afterwards. But BM has got himself an AWP, and without has lost his life as a result. Power hunting with that Deagle is probably going to get found by Mason D here. No, he does find the timing. Gingernet, though, does find a kill onto Bradders, making this a 4 versus 3 situation. BM, though, finds J-Shot with the AWP as Mason continues to mess about in vents. And Mason D finds Power, leaving Gingernet last man alive, saving an AK-47 with full Kevlar in T-spawn. And there we have it. Another round on the board for the Royal Artillery. I believe this is their 3rd or 4th in a row now. And they're leading 6-1 on their T side. And I think everyone at home is aware that Nuke is very much a CT-sided map when you have your act together. But it's clear that the Royal Engineers right now do not have their act together, and they are struggling. Gingerut 3-3, doing the best on his team, despite us being in round number 8 now. J-Shop with the most frags going 5-7, which is still not anything to be happy with. Across the board, the fragging for the Royal Engineers does need to be picked up, as well as the strategies and utility that they're employing. And there we have a nice entry from Power. We haven't seen an entry from the Royal Engineers in some time. And J-Shop finding Big JD as well. Power finally gets cut down by Mason D, and he's aware of the opportunity for more CTs to push through. BM, excuse me, BM outside is going to find a great all shot onto Without. And that's another key player, key defender taken down. BM is completely unguarded at the moment, so he has free reign to go towards the same bomb site. Mason D taking the ramp fight. Wisely opts to fall off of that and join up with his teammates. J-Shop holding Asia Vent as BM finds Gingerut with an excellent headshot. That is the outside route absolutely clear, and J-Shop isn't swinging just yet. So they can take this down to B once again, and they'll have a free bomb site. Hubs is on ramp, but obviously if they use a couple of smokes, this bomb site is theirs, and they have 2 smokes to play with. BM on the AWP, clearly warmed up. Excellent so far. Are they going to check J-Shop? They've actually changed their tune and gone back up to A. J-Shop is the key factor, but oh, Mason! What a headshot! Gorgeous stuff from him. And now a 3 versus 1 situation for the Rillery. This is just a set and done round. Hubs can, attempt to retake here. And if he wins this round, it would be huge for the Royal Engineers, as they are really struggling. But Mason's holding the angle. Hubs will take him down, but BM's there for the trade, and that's 7 rounds on the board for the Royal Artillery. They are 1 round away from taking this half in their stride. 1 round away from taking a side that is so much more difficult than CT. The Royals are floundering, being absolutely ruined, run through by the Royal Artillery here. There's an even greater list of adjectives if the Royal Artillery are able to keep up this stellar form in their first game of the season. Very, very little adaptation coming through from the Royal Engineers. No aggressive push plays to catch the T's off guard. I feel like they're very uncoordinated today as well, which is not something I'm used to seeing as of Season 2. Big JD, another entry onto J-Shop, and things are looking rather tragic for the Royal Engineers here. The Sappers are very much having their energy and morale sapped away at by the Gunners. And it's really affecting their gameplay, I'd say. It's not often that you see this collection of players fragging so lowly on any map, really. BM does take a bit of damage now. I believe that was from Without Scout Power. Trying to make a move in the vent, but actually gets stuck in it. He's going for another peek. Won't catch anyone off guard this time. None of these shots are landing on either team. BM is going to find Without, though. That is a huge, huge frag. Another man advantage swinging in the favour of the T side. And the CTs again, they're just trapped. They have 1 player on ramp who could be their saving grace. But Big JD, what a headshot! Gingerut all Power trade. Power find another frag, and now this round is back in contention. Power looking for more, gets cornered, and it's a 3 versus 1 now against Hubs. Hubs finds BM, finds Big JD. Oh, Mason D, just to add insult to injury, will inspect his weapon before finding the final frag. Power and Hubs almost made that one work, but it's going to be 8-1 for the Royal Artillery. They have won 8 rounds to the 1 of the Royal Engineers. This has been a cakewalk for them. Well, I say cakewalk. Some of these rounds have been incredibly close. But otherwise, a dominant T-side performance from the Royal Artillery, and they have won a side that they had statistically no business doing so well in. Without already taking chip damage, and BM has found Hubs! BM is on fire right now, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, if he comes to play with that AWP, there is very little the Royal Engineers can do to counter, especially because they keep force buying on random players. Power with a scout with Deagles on his compatriots. It's just not a good combo, especially with the way they're playing at the moment. And as the bomb goes down again for the T side, we're looking at a potential 9-1 lead here. This was a game I was amping up to be one of the highlights. And this is only game 1 of the season, but look at this dominance from the Royal Artillery. Producer Alex is going to be in tears when he looks at this scoreline. Oh, BM, what a shot without taking clean out of the air. Brad is swinging J-Shop. It's all down to Ginger Nut in the 1v5. He finds a great 1v onto Mason. Isn't able to spin round in time for Brad is jumping round the corner. He makes a valiant effort, but that's a 9th round on the board for the Royal Artillery. And the voice from above, Alex, producer Alex, has confessed that he is indeed in tears as his side is completely dismantled by a stellar Royal Artillery. This is one of the best Royal Artillery performances I've ever seen. 14-5 on BM and 11-4 on Bradders. What a stunning scoreline for those two boys. They must be very proud of their performances. Yes, indeed. Another entry onto Ginger Nut, but finally, gets him a man advantage. Can he keep this? Yes, he can. With a 3k, Brad is a lovely Kobe. And another follow-up. Hubs finds BM, but it is a 2v1 for Bradders to find his way out of. This should be around for the Royal Engineers. He knows there's one in heaven. He does not know where the final player of J-Shop is. But Power is AWPing from heaven. There is so much potential for things to go downhill. Grenade misses its mark, but Bradders is low HP. It will take 2 bullets from an M4 and obviously 1 from an AWP to seal the deal. But Bradders is going to find Power! Is he going to swing this? Instead, he's going to smoke this as J-Chop comes in over the top. Bradders opting for an M4 instead, a fully loaded weapon here. And J-Chop knows exactly where he is. Look at this. He's made an entire smoke wall and J-Chop just given up his position. Oh my goodness me! Bradders, that is monstrous! A 4K in round number 11 to put him on 15-4. This is the Bradders and BM show with a sprinkling of Mason. Oh my good lord, Bradders, that is one of the most intelligent plays I've seen throughout the entirety of Lions League. He sets himself up with a man-made smoke wall. He forces the opposition to give up where they are by smoke spamming, and he wins the round with a 4K. What a beautiful clutch. Oh, the Royal Engineers will be reeling. Hubs does find an entry with a P250 traded quickly by McDonald. Oh, McDonald quite literally did have a farm as it is just pistols on the opposition. Having said that, good. What a Ginger Nut. BJD there to pick up the pieces down to a 2 versus 2. Power does have a saved rifle. Will he be able to get anything done with this as BM comes in on the flank? The two Ts are split up, so there is no trade potential. This is potentially risky. However, it's not going to be as Power does actually make it out alive. How the hell has that happened then? Power on 12 HP is going to be grasping onto that AK with the remnants of his lifespan. As J-Shop on the Deagle tries to get something done as well. Power is 12 HP here. A mere couple of tickles and this man is done for. But BM, of course, he expects that angle. And it's a 2 versus 1. J-Shop on the Deagle. Very little to work with here. He has no idea what either of these players are. And Big JD finishes him off with a 3K. JD, the saviour in that round, will find a triple. And this is, I'm going to call it right now, this is a said and done game. The Royal Artillery have hammered the Royal Engineers. And there is just no way, shape or form that I think they will come back in this here map. The most rounds I predict the Royal Engineers can get in this map is 7. If they have a really good start on T-side, they win pistol, and the second 2, I think they can take 7. In the meantime, the Royal Artillery leading by 10 whole rounds. Their economy isn't as strong as it could be, as a lot of these rounds have been very close, but it doesn't matter because the Royal Engineers' economy is disgustingly bad. As is their form today, for that matter. Nothing going their way, and another ramp rush comes through. Power, though, is in a great position to stop it this time. Power finds a double, almost a triple, and it's now a 2 versus 4 for the Royal Artillery to claw back. But I would not put this past the Molotov to allow them presence on B. Will they be able to deal with J-Shop here as he runs on through? Ginger Nut caught off by the Molotov in hell. And I think this might be a Royal Engineers round. J-Shop, all he needs to do is open the door. Oh, but he's going to find one on BM. Big JD there to instantly trade and a 1 versus 3 from the Mastermind. Will he be able to pull up another one? He finds power. Oh, no. Oh, dearie me, ladies and gentlemen. 1v2 for Big JD. Bomb gets tapped. They're going to hear him running round. Oh, and finally the Royal Engineers have done it. They put a round on the board at long last. A second round to the Royal Artillery's 11. But it doesn't even matter. The Royal Artillery able to buy it once again on their T side. Full utility, full weaponry, full armor. This, however, will be the last time the CTs can buy comfortably if they lose this round. There are only 2 rounds, including this one, left in the entire half. And, oh, power! What a shot onto McDonald. Blinded kill. He misses BM! He shoots through the man's leg! Oh my god, BM! You are so lucky to be alive here. That was disgusting. Power should have ran away with that kill every which way. Every day of the week. But no, BM is gifted his lifespan. From the gods above, no doubt. Advantage, not quite man advantage, well now man advantage, swings in favour of the Royal Artillery. Bradders finds without. Now a 4 versus 2 on the flip side. Will the Royal Engineers be able to get anything done here? Gingina on 15, making his way down a ramp. Cut off by a Molotov, and now Chase Shop is on his last legs. Will be taken down by him. It's a 2 versus 3. Make that 2 versus 1 as Mason D Gingina. Oh, good. No, it's a 3 versus 1. Sorry, Mason is on 4 HP. I didn't see him down there. With a 2 in this round, J Shop now running away to try and save this AK for the final round of play. Wow. Another thing to note is a lot of these rounds, the Royal Engineers aren't finding any more than 2 kills. And so the economy is allowed to build up on a regular few. And look at the amount of money the Royal Artillery have going into the last round. They could buy 50 Eagles if they would. I wouldn't put it past them to win with that buy anyway. The Royal Engineers just have not impressed me at all. Hubs, as a new player, I am excited to see how he copes with the rest of his debut. So far, he's not been doing too badly on ramp. I do have to give him credit for that. But otherwise, everyone else has been putting in lackluster numbers. BM, a rare miss from him will allow someone into Glade Box. And as an AWPer, it's challenging psychologically and wise to hit that second shot if you are not ready for it. So BM wisely falls off and another free power. Power will no doubt be feeling very upset about this. And it's already a man advantage. Back to the Royal Artillery. Make that a 2-man advantage as BM destroys without anything really in this half. BM! Oh my lord! Another entry onto the A-bomb site as Ginginut cowers in hell. And Hubs on the MP9 has very little he can do here. He needs to rotate on fast. This is the last round of play. It doesn't even matter. It's a 5v1. Mason will decapitate Hubs. And Ginginut will fall to Bradders. A 5-man left alive round. Oh my goodness. 18-6 for Bradders. 19-8 for BM. 10-7 for Big JD. 12-11 for Mason D. Only 1 man going negative on the Royal Artillery side. Not that it even matters. They are decimating, absolutely decimating the Royal Engineers. They do not stand a chance, and I will stand by that. I believe one of the coaches has accidentally joined one of the teams here. So we are just going to need to wait for that to be fixed. That is a bit of a problem, as he has now seen the pistol round by of the opposition side, I do believe. We are just going to wait for that problem to be fixed. I believe this might be a technical timeout. I take it back. The tech timeout has been sorted, and we will be going live again in just 20 seconds from now. Oh, I have just been informed that Hubs is Sexy Doggo. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. He has forgotten to change his name back signed up with. So Hubs is Doggo. I'm continuing to call him Hubs, and I now take back everything I said about him having a stellar debut. He's not had a stellar debut. He's been playing with this team since Season 1. So whilst he is doing one of the best performances on his team, there is a lot more room for improvement. But yeah, if I were the Sappers here, I'd maybe try and take this pistol round and the preceding round just to give myself a bit of confidence back that I can still hit my shots, that I can still play Counter-Strike. And then just focus on just getting this game out the way, going straight into the second. I know you always... I never give up. I'm not encouraging people to ever give up in Counter-Strike, no matter what the scoreline is, because miracle things can happen when you knuckle yourselves down. But Bradders is, already attempting to deny that miracle. Without will fall first again. He's going to be furious. 7-14. He's not going to be happy with the way he's playing. Makes a D shop and Ginger trading one back finally for the Royal Engines. Makes this a 4 versus 3 situation for the CTs to deal with. Power tapping away. Isn't going to find anyone just yet. Oh no, he's pulled a knife out. He's pulled a knife out and BN gets a freebie. Hubs finds one onto BN, but it's a 2 versus 3 situation here. Big JD has the advantage on Hubs as he pushes round. And now both Ts are on railing. If the CTs don't check these positions, then they do have the advantage in this round. That is the Ts with an advantage in this round if they go unchecked. However, it is still a 3v2, and Ginger Nut has one bullet left in the tank, really. Big JD in the meantime playing around double doors and McDonald. Wary of a flank, as is Big JD, but none of those will be coming through. Instead, somehow Ginger Nut escapes back up a ramp. And he's going to pick up the bomb. The CTs have not found the bomb yet, so this could potentially be a free A plant. Bradders is there, however. Bradders is there, and he's eagerly awaiting a frag here. He thinks it might be coming. Must have to be super careful, but of course he will hear this bomb plant go off, and he will hear this player running out onto the site. Hubs coming now to join his teammate. Bradders swinging around the corner, finds a kill, and they've run out of time, ladies and gentlemen. If Hubs dies after time as well, that will be a catastrophe for his bank balance. And he just about slips away into the darkness. And here we have it, a 14-2 scoreline to the Royal Artillery. Ladies and gentlemen, what a beautiful opening performance. This will be one for the history books for Lions League. Royal Engineers are going to be forcing up into this round. Of course, they have to force up into this round. 3 Mac-10s, 2 Glocks. Sorry, 1 Glock and a net is all they'll be able to manage as Bradders runs on through the Mac-7. Oh, Bradders! What a shot on the J-Shop! Already instantly removing one of the Mac-10s. That is disgusting from him. A quick flick of the wrist, and Mason finds Hubs. It's all over, ladies and gentlemen. I'm calling it quits here. I'm throwing in the towel for the Royal Engineers. Mason finds without. Ginger Nut does find a headshot onto Mason D. Ginger Nut still fighting to the bitter end. Finds McDonald. 3v2 now. There is still the potential for something to go right for them in this round. Oh, Ginger Nut, that's a powerful frag onto Big JD. Bradders! Oh, Bradders with the Mag-7 fighting a headshot onto Power. Be able to Ginger Nut. It's a 15-2 scoreline to the Royal Artillery, ladies and gentlemen. Goodness gracious me. You'll be hearing a lot more of that throughout the tournament if this is what we are seeing. The Sappers are just broken. Financially, mentally, score-wise. What a domination from the Royal Artillery. There is a potential still for the Royal Engineers to win out this here round. They do have 2 UMPs, an AK, a Mac-10, and a Galil against Bradders on the Mag-7 nonetheless. But I just don't think it'll be enough. I really don't think it will be enough. This is... Wow, I gave him a threshold of 15-7. That was far too generous on my part. And now Bradders spots another one out in Squeaky. He will drop a smoke, allowing him to get into a better position here. Big JD finds Ginger Nut on the trade. J-Shop and Power, 2 powerful entries though. Bradders and Big JD fall. And BM does claw one back. Mason D finds another double. It's a 2 versus 1. How do they claw this back? Power in a 1 versus 2 in the final round of the game, potentially here. If he does not find a frag, BM in the rafters is going to be thrust into a 1 versus 1. He has 6 AP and now he has none. Power finds the clutch. 3 kills in round number 18. It is a 15-3 scoreline off the back of that now. They scored 2 rounds in the first half and now 1 in the second. They're halfway to totaling their total rounds in the first half. But it does not really matter. 5 times less rounds than their opponents of the Royal Artillery. This should be an easy round for them to bag, making it a 15-4 scoreline. Pistols galore, but they are playing aggressive with them, and this could catch the T's off guard, especially if they are not careful. And it's a slow round, surprisingly, for the Pistols. They are just holding angles. Ginger Nut making a bit of noise on the roof. Mason's in a great position for the time being if they decide to push ramp, but it will be Hubs taking down BM to start off the fray. Ginger Nut with a Molotov is going to go for the 100 Thieves strategy of clearing top hut. And Big JD will be displaced from this position as J-Shot finds Mason, Power finds Bradders, Hubs finds McDonald. And Big JD, only good for 1 so far in the round, is left in a 1v4 with no armor and an AK. He does now have 100 HP, 2 kills to his name, no armor and an AK. But it looks like he's choosing better than to fight this round. He knows it is better to let this round slip away and win out the next. The T's still hunting for Big JD here, aren't going to find him. They've grabbed the bomb as well from outside, and they will be presumably going towards a bomb site to plant. They are shifting their way around the map, and it looks like A will be their final destination. Perhaps not in the sense of the movie, as Big JD is going to be in T-spawn, hiding with this AK. But it will be their final destination in this round until they are forced to go and save. If they were feeling extra risky, they know Big JD has an AK here, so they could go on the hunt, but their economy is crippled. Despite winning rounds, they have had to force into a lot of them, and this has not done wonders for their economy at all. And as the bomb ticks down, Big JD knows this will be a 4th round on the board for the Royal Engineers, but this should not trouble the Royal Artillery at all, as they are able to buy up into the next, and even if they don't buy up into the next, they'll be able to buy up into the one following. And they have 11 maps to play with. Oh, that's very, very powerful there from Power. That is such an important frag. He does go on the hunt, and he is successful. Mason D. Oh, it's Mason O. Sorry, it's not Mason D. It's Mason O. I will get that right for the rest of the game. Don't you worry. Mason O won't be able to afford anything, so wisely the Royal Artillery adopt pistols and nades going into this round, not wasting any money on Kevlar. And so this will be a 5th for the Royal Engineers. Power, Ginger Nut, both finding frags as they get pushed down, but Mason O on 2. Mason O on 2 with a USP for that matter. And he's looking for more here, but unfortunately Hubs on the flanks will take him down. And that's a 5th round on the board for the Royal Engineers. But a USP taking down 2 players, that is not something that should be happening. 23 and 12 on BM, 22 and 9 on Bradders, 18 and 16 on Mason O. Far superior KDs to that of Jarrett. Ginger Nut not doing too badly thanks to his fragging in this half, but a lot of eco frags are padding up those stats, not necessarily impactful kills, unlike those of the Royal Artillery. Now this could be the round to end it all, and it's looking like it certainly could be the case. A slower round here from the T's. They know how much is at stake. They need to win this round if they want to stay in game 1. McDonald got a nice angle above Squeaky on the hut. Needs to be careful he doesn't get flanked, but he has Mace. No, sorry, he has Bradders on the outside with the AUG. to watch his back for him. Brad is not quite noticing that there is a player next to Silo. Make that 2 players next to Silo. And Power holding the pixel angle from Squeaky. Could be a formidable foe here for the CT side. Very, very slow-paced round here. It is a complete switch up from the norm. They do not usually leave it this late. Flashbangs now coming across. And the time is really ticking down. They need to push. Big JD finds the entry. Hubs with a trade. Power with a second frag. Hubs with a third. Hubs with a fourth. And this is a said and done round for the Royal Engineers. Mason O, last man alive, desperately needs to save this M4. Full Kevlar and utility into the next. He might find one onto Without here if Without is not careful. Mason just needs to see the glimmer of a head, but somehow he lets him walk past and he jumps up without realizing where the last man was. Orb gets saved over and only 2 frags for the Royal Artillery in that round. Perhaps my prediction of 7 was not so unreasonable after all. Another pistol round coming across here from the Royal Artillery. All they need is 1 more round. The Royal Engineers are finally showing signs of life. They are actually hitting the shots they need to hit. Power Hubs very much woken up. The rest of the team also finding the frags they need. But BM finds Without with a P250, bagging himself an AK early on. And there's an over on the back of McDonald, but BM is now very low health. 11 HP. Wisely opts to throw the AK across to one of his teammates. So it is a man advantage to the pistols, but barely. BM on 11 points of health. Oh, Power finds McDonald there. He was not expecting that kind of swing. Big JD gets a freebie. BM finds Ginger. Oh, it's a 3 versus 2. J-Shot with a great frag onto Big JD. Still not able to even up the numbers. Mason O, here's his bomb plot going down. Is he going to peek with an eagle? He is going to take a couple of pot shots in his direction. Unable to find Hubs. And there we have it. Hubs finds Bradders. Last man alive is BM. He's on 11 points of health. And he does find Hubs. Oh, if BM wins this round. If BM wins this round. J-Shot, last man alive. AK in tow. Is peeking around the silos. BM shooting through the middle of the silos. Isn't able to find anything just yet. He's already got 3 magnificent frags in this round. He's just toying with J-Shot. Oh my goodness, BM, he gets the 4K! Oh, that's so unfortunate. He just runs out of time and just runs out of health. No AK saved across, but that was a damaging round. Royal Engineers get decimated by the pistols and barely escape that one. Not a single player surviving on their side, and goodness gracious me, what an effort from BM. 4 kills with a Deagle and a P250. If only he had the AK. That is a mighty shame for the Royal Artillery. But obviously a sigh of huge relief for the Royal Engineers. They have the ability to keep on fighting for just a few more rounds. What was originally, I believe, a 12-round lead or a 13-round lead for the Royal Artillery has whittled down a little bit to a mere 8. Power, though, falls off the silo when trying to cross towards the top of Mini and is already down to 58 points of health. That is a big blunder from him. And McDonald now swings out. But he's going to get absolutely decimated by Without. Power as well. Finds Big JD. Already 2 key players removed here. It's a 2 versus 5. Mason finds Ginger. An excellent game from him. But it's all now down to Bradders. 1 versus 4. Finds the first. Can he find any more? All damage he does now is damage to the economy. Flashbang coming out. He's going to find Without as well. He does so much damage. But unfortunately to no avail. It's an 8th round on the board for the Royal Engineers. And they will have enough money to full buy thanks to Hubs and J-Shop. 15-8 is the scoreline now. And what was, I believe, as I said, 12 match points is now only 7. Yes, I can do GCSE and primary school level maths. Don't you worry, viewers at home. And now that the Royal Engineers have actually started playing like the team we know they are, this game gets more interesting. They still have a long way to go. And goodness me, Bradders with a pinky Mag 7 isn't going to find anything. But P250 will. Hubs to Donald finds one more back. It's a 3v now. Things are getting a little bit more interesting as J-Shop spams in the outside, attempting to find Mason O, but Mason O finds the frag. Another advantage to the Royal Artillery on another pistol round for them. Without and Power, everything to do without a shocker of the game. But Power has finally found his footing. They've got the bomb in tow, and they will be heard by Mason as he pushes into lobby. He's going to be able to give up the information that they will be running outside, and there is a player on the B bomb site to meet them. McDonald has a Mag 7, which he might want to whip out here. As soon as he hears that squeaky door open, spam away he must if he wants to take this round. Fence has been broken. No one in them just yet, though. This will delay things further as Power stops to check, as does Without. Without now making his way down towards Squeaky Door. Will they swing together to clear sight is the question. Oh, this is very sneaky. Are they going back up to A here? Glass has been broken by McDonald, and that is a huge error on his part. He should be going down any moment now. He's been flanked from behind. Oh, but Mason O swinging through, finds Without. All down to Power in the 1 versus 3. Unable to deal with the Max 7. A big GD. He finds the frag. A 16-8 scoreline to the Royal Artillery. What a game, ladies and gentlemen. And what an opening match here for Lions League Season 3. Wow, Royal Artillery absolutely stomping on the opposition. It was such a beautiful T-side half. And whilst the Royal Engineers did better than I expected them to do on their own T-side, it just simply was not enough. It was far too little too late. A couple of players did end up showing up to the server at the very, very end. But as I said, just a huge well played to everyone on the Royal Artillery side. Well, it is the map pick of the Royal Artillery that has just been played. So coming up next will be Overpass. That is the map pick of the Royal Engineers, the Sappers side. Overpass is a much stronger map from them. And gosh, am I going to look silly if that is no longer the case. And it will be the Royal Artillery starting on CT this time around. But from how well versed they look, I wouldn't put it past them having a stronger T side. But yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be right back after a very quick break. It should be no longer than 5 minutes. We just need to get everyone out of the server and everyone back into the server for the next map. Bear with me just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much to everyone who's watched so far. I will see you all in about 5 or so minutes, and I cannot wait to bring you Overpass. See you in just a second. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. The second map will be getting underway in just a moment. We're finishing getting the players back into the server. But wow, what a first map from the Royal Artillery. Just a stunning, stunning performance. I don't know about you guys. In fact, I'll check with you guys in just a moment. I'll bring chat up on my phone. I am living that one monitor lifestyle. But there we go. I'll bring that up on the phone so I can see what you guys are saying at home in chat. But I know my personal MVPs for that first match. It's got to be between BM and Bradders. They just had a stellar performance. They absolutely wiped the floor clean with the Sappers boys, and yeah, it was just a dominant game. The scoreline was 16-8, but it really did feel like it was still a 16-2. There was not a word in edgeways really that the Sappers could have done to find that. Excuse me, Sappers could have done to find that game going in their favour at all. I mean, on Overpass, there is obviously a lot that can be done, and they do stand a little bit of a better chance, especially because it's a map that all of their players are far more comfortable on, to my knowledge. The Nuke. Nuke was obviously not great for them. They had a very, very bad CT side. And on Nuke, if you have a bad CT side, that does not fare you well for the rest of the game. And obviously, they expected to have a better CT, which is why they chose to start on it rather than the T side. And yeah, just getting bodied, I think it was 13-2, I believe, on your CT side on Nuke is just not acceptable for this level of play. Obviously, these are not paid professionals. They do have other jobs. They dedicate a lot of hours of their day to doing what they're paid to do. But at the same time, you are practicing as a team. And as being one of the top teams coming into a tournament like this, where there is a lot on the line, only getting 2 rounds on CT side Nuke is a problem, especially when your lineup is that solid. They had a very solid lineup. It's just they were not able to close out rounds in admittedly some of the higher pressure situations. If they had closed out a couple of those 1v1s, 2v1s that somehow swung in the favour of the Royal Artillery, the scoreline would be very, very different. I'd say they could have potentially pulled this to a 16-10, 16-12 scoreline if they'd won just a couple of those rounds, which would have in turn reset the economy of the artillery, reset their morale, their mentality. But they just catapulted off of the incredible momentum that they just got back time and time and time again. And so there was just barely anything they could do in the second half. Admittedly, they had a very good start to the T side. They did lose Pistol, which was damning. But after losing Pistol, I believe they went on to win 6 rounds in a row, which is far more than they did on the CT side. And obviously, I keep coming back to the CT side. It was such a big factor in this, because normally you can win a game of Nuke if you only get 6 rounds on your T side. And the voice from above has come to message me. Is there anything wrong here, Mr. Producer from above? All right, thank you very much, voice from above, Mr. Alex. We will be beating a couple more minutes for all of the players to get themselves back into the server. I will keep you company for the time being. Don't you worry. I'm still Tom Taylor, or Sneaky Beaky TTV on Twitch and Twitter, and I'll be bringing you Overpass very, very shortly. I am looking forward for the rest of this best of 3. My voice, my voice perhaps not as much, but personally I very much am. And I'm looking for a good 2-1 here. I don't want this to be another game where the artillery absolutely dominate. I'd love an overtime win from the artillery if they do take this 2-0. But I'm sure all of the Sappers fans at home are looking for a clean 2-1 here. A nice reverse sweep, or at least a victory on their own map pick. The fact that it is their own map pick does give me a little bit of confidence that they are better rehearsed. And if they can show that they've been working hard, give us some excellent smoke executes on both the A and B bomb sites, as you can see on the top of the screen there. We do have a couple of examples for you. Admittedly, this is from when there was a bit more foliage in Overpass, back before player model skins were added. But the map is the same, minus underpass with a light range and a couple of bushes around mid and long. Bit of brightening of color as well. But yeah, as I said, this is still a perfectly accurate guide as to what is going on. And hopefully they can use a couple of these smokes on the screen right now to really push their gameplay over the line. Obviously, I haven't seen either of these two teams in practice, and I haven't seen any of them really play since last season. And I have been informed once again by the voice in my ears, the voice from above, that we will be going into game in just a couple of moments. But yeah, if Bradders and BM can pick up the performance that they had on Nuke and replicate that or do anything close to what they were able to bring to the table, I think this is going to be a 2-0 for Artillery. If we just see a dilapidated Sappers side failing to show up as they did in the first game, especially if they let this slip on the first half once again, this will be a 2-0 for the Artillery. If they come out the door swinging, they bring the firepower, they get the frags, they get the early rounds, make it at least a competitive half, then I think this will be a 2-1 affair to the Artillery. If we get it all the way to train, that is. I'm sticking with my initial predictions here. In fact, am I sticking with my initial predictions? I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen of the chat, I cannot remember what I predicted. Did I say Sappers or Artillery? Please do call me out here. But it looks like, as we get straight into pistol round, it's a 5-man connector dive. A 5-man connector dive. As the pistols look to make magic happen for the Royal Engineers. Bradders spots him immediately, but instead of going towards B, that's a fast banana push, but look at BM. BM, no, surely you know that they aren't still in connector. Now he finally clues onto it. Fastman finds hubs to start things off. Bradders with a headshot to Ginger Nut without, does trade one back. 4 versus 3 on the retake for the CTs here. Bradders is alive with a defuse kit, but power is very, very low. This could be a 4 versus 2 if they're not careful. Now a 3 versus 2. 2 versus 2. Oh, without, that was huge. A 3K in the pistol, but it's now all down to power. He has 16 HP. He does have the power to make this work, but the bomb has been tapped, and he is being held. He doesn't know the CT's having a fuse kit, and power finds it. Oh, Bradders! What a swing! 2K and a defuse. That's an excellent retake for the Royal Artillery. Valiant, valiant effort from without, but he falls just a little too short there. And I think the third pistol round of the day going straight back in favour of the Royal Artillery. They are raining hell down from the skies. And the Royal Engineers are completely unable to react without now pushing out through Fountain. Will he be able to find anything early? This is a force bite round from both teams, but there are a lot of SMGs for money farming on the Royal Artillery side. And with this potential monster flank, if all goes to plan and they do check J-Shop's angle... Oh, Bradders, you're so good! He is so good, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it from me here first. That's the highest compliment I've given so far. And that is just disappointing. The Royal Engineers aren't able to find that there frag. Great pre-firing though. Power does find one on the scout, looking for more, but gets taken down by Hubs. There's Mason on the scout. I don't know what I'm talking about here today. Bradders finds Ginger up, but he's traded out by Hubs. Oh, what a lead! Every single player on less than 20 HP. Fastman only needed to land a single shot. Oh, if only McDonald knew. If only he knew how low every single one of these players were. Although he is admittedly not the strongest player for the Royal Artillery. He didn't have a very good first game. I did glaze over the fact that I think he only ended up with 9 kills. Not a strong performance from him, and that was a measly effort on the retake there. 1-1 now as the Royal Engineers claw back after the force buy. And a split coming through here from the Royal Engineers. A basic default, but without does make a little bit of noise on the drop. I'm not sure if that's loud enough for him to have been heard, but there's another fast short play coming through. The CTs need to play this one very carefully. They do only have pistols bar Bradders on a FAMAS. And Bradders, he's going to go down to a Molotov. What the hell just happened? Why doesn't he move? That is a huge misplay from Bradders there, and without finds Mason, Power finds BM, and now it's a 2 versus 5 with only a CZ and a Deagle with full Kevlar in tow. This was a very unwise choice to force up. CZ finds one, CZ finds two, but Ginger Nut finds Bazman, and that is the round said and done. I'm not sure the idea behind that, and I don't know why Bradders... I think it was Bradders dies to a Molotov. He had ample time, it seemed, to escape from it, and he just didn't. He just sat there and took it. And now it's 2 on the board to the Royal Engineers. This is the first time, I think, for the entire series that they have had a lead over the Royal Artillery. But how long will they keep this up? Ginger Nut finding Bazman. In fact, no, Power finding Bazman with a lovely frag. As Hubs cowers for his life on 1 health as he gets rushed down by pistols. They do realise off the back of this that the B-bomb site is completely open and the plant will come through. The round win will surely follow as it's 4 USPs on a retake. Without taking down Sino early on, narrowly missing a second shot, finds a second. In fact, no, Power through the wall, finds Bradders and a headshot follow-up onto McDonald, leaving just BM in the 1v5 and a USP. And no longer a dream as a bullet rips him to shreds. J-Shop rounding things out, and Without, I believe Without already has the same amount of kills as he garnered in the entire first half over on Nuke. He's 7-1 at the moment. A great opening performance. Power 6-1 and Hubs 4-2. 4-4 on Bazman and 4-3 on Bradders. They're not doing too badly on the flip side, but there is 0 kills on BM, 0 kills in Mason, only 1 on McDonald. 2 of the star players from the previous map yet to find anything in their favour. Slow round now, as this is the first full buy round for both teams and very limited utility on the CT side. That is going to be problematic for them, especially if Without finds his kill. BM, though, does get the entry on the Power. Oh, Mason O narrowly finding a frag to Hubs, but Ginger Nut there to trade. 4 versus 3. And we do have a bit of interesting T aggression. They've taken middle. And now McDonald is tasked with staying alive as J-Shop pushes him from Monster, but J-Shop finds the frag. McDonald 1 in 5, as is BM for that matter. Nothing spectacular as of yet. Without throwing a heaven smoke, indicating that they are looking to execute towards B. There is not much left on this here clock. Bazman in water, swings out and gets decapitated by J-Shop. That's going to be costly, but Bradders with a double! Bradders with a triple! Oh my goodness gracious me! He's already back in the server, back in the limelight, and he completely decimates the entire Royal Engineers lineup. And off the back of that, there's 2 rounds on the board for the Royal Artillery. And the Royal Engineers crumble at the hands of Bradders. This man is a beast. And now another full buy round coming across for both sides, but this is the last one either of them will be able to afford if they lose this coming around. Bit of connector presence early on. Without is going to eat a bit of a Molotov, and now he's given up his position by stepping in it. That is a big mistake. Mason finds Hubs on another entry as well. That is a huge frag to find. And now falling down into connector, the reload could give up his position. But not that it's going to matter as BM's got him covered from the top side. They are both very low health, but they have support, and this is what matters. Trade potentials everywhere. J-Shop, the Monster Lurk, will be trying to push out onto B here. He's going to run into Bazman. Bomb waiting to see if either one of these 2 players on the aggression get an entry. Without looking to find one on A, and J-Shop doing a stellar effort on B to take McDonald down to 20. But it isn't going to be an entry. Without, though, will find one onto BM, and the bomb looks to be moving towards B. Without finds a double. Now a 3 versus 2 situation. J-Shop not looking great on health, but neither is Mason. This is still a very doable round for the T side, but they're going to need to hurry up. There's only 27 seconds left on this clock. And 19 seconds remain as they slowly push out. Bassman yet to reveal his position behind barrels. Oh, J-Shop, that's a nasty kill into Bassman, but Bradders finds the head of J-Shop. Bradders is a beast. And now he gets spotted falling down into water. Power unable to do anything as Bradders finds another triple. Oh my goodness me, ladies and gentlemen. This man is doing everything. 10 in 3 now. Decimating the entire server. The only man close is without finding a double of his own in that round, but his teammates aren't able to rise up around him and offer him the support he needs to get that one done. 3-3 now, the equalizing round, and the teams are forcing into MAC-10s. Not something I necessarily agree with, but at the same time, that does become a viable strategy on Overpass if it is a solid rush and you find at least one entry early on. In the meantime, the Rifles just need to play it safe, play long-range angles against this MAC-10 aggression. And oh my, look at this mid-rush. BM finds the first, Power with a trade, and now the rotate comes in for the CT side. I think they've realised that this will be a fast push to the site. Mason scrambling back from long, attempting to get there to help. Bradders finds one, but finally traded out by J-Shop. Gingered up with another, and a man advantage to the T's. Oh, McDonald! That is the biggest play we've seen from him in this entire best-of-3 series, and it could not come. He may have just won this round for the Royal Artillery. And Basman in B1, swinging it in their favour after being at a disadvantage, and now Hubs finding an AK has a lot to do. Look at the utility of these two remaining players for the CT side versus the one singular flashbang on Hubs. They can play trades and they can play safe. They have 55 seconds to play down this clock. And Hubs will find Bassman. Oh, McDonald, what a swing! 3K for McDonald in this round. And he is the Royal Artillery's new hero. That is 3 rounds in a row that an individual has stepped up and found a 3K. Bradders with 2 3Ks consecutively. And now McDonald with 1. And as I said, McDonald certainly does have himself yet another farm as he picks up 3. And this time is the race. BM on an AWP now. This should be interesting to see. How will this one go down? Mason actually the man playing middle once again with an AK-47. And Bradders spamming through towards Monster. Doesn't do much, but give up his own position. There is a lot of Monster aggression. Oh, Bradders finds the head of Hubs. Bassman falls to Power. As Gingerbread rushes into short, he's going to catch Bradders running away. That is costly, and now the site firmly belongs to the T side. McDonald swings off the site, doesn't kill the bomb planter. That is a tragedy. But it is a 2 versus 2 as Mason and BM find one each. An excellent grenade coming across. Mason is about to walk into it out, but he is going to come out on top. AK versus Tech 9. He certainly had an advantage there. BM, if he jumps down for a balcony, he's seen the head. He's seen the head, and now he sees the player. How has he missed so many AK shots? But I think BM disconnected. It doesn't matter. Mason finds J-Shop, and that is the round going in their favour. As long as he gets on this defuse now. And there we have it. A 5th round on the board for the Royal Artillery. 5-3 scoreline. It is a lot closer than the previous map. Yeah, either way, there's a 2-round advantage in their favour now. I don't know what happened there with BM. I think he may have just given up. He's like, okay, I've missed this shot. There's no way I can pull it off. Doesn't realise that the opponent is also panicking out of his mind, missing every single AK shot. So he does attempt to spam with the USP, but does eventually get found by a spray. Wow. I don't know what to say. This is a thrilling game already. They are certainly keeping me entertained, and I hope the same goes to you lot at home. Bradders on the Mag 7. Once again, a signature weapon for him, it seems, as BM opens up on this Ginger Nut. Excellent. Oh my good lord. BM does get going through the smoke, but Mason O is there to find 2. Can he find a 3rd? He's whipped out the USP. He's tapping away, and he's going to find J-Chop as well. Another 3K from a Royal Artillery member. Mason O with 3 in the round. Power sees the bomb, does not see the opposition in toilets. Mason is down to 15. Power on 71. He could potentially clutch this one out, but he has a very tall order on his hands. Bassman, in fact, McDonald in connector. Gets decapitated as Mason swings around with a 4K in round number 8. Round number 9, sorry. as the Royal Artillery double their round score compared to that of the Engineers. And this already is looking promising. Royal Engineers back down to a pistol buy here. They've gone for a deco with full Kevlar. In fact, they've gone for a full force here by the sounds of it, or a buy to somewhat 2k. Will the pistols be able to reign supreme, or will it be the Swag 7 and rifle combo? Power does actually have a MAC-10. That is something I glazed over. I did not realize he had that in his possession. But BM now has a kill to his name and also a bullet in his face. Power finding Bradders. Now a 4 versus 3 for the T side. Their health is low, but their weapons are now upgrading as they pick these up off of the fallen CTs. Mason, excellently done with the AWP there, finds one, but cannot afford to overextend. He's down to 19 points for health, expending a lot of utility here. Dropping a smoke as well. Is he going to go to long off of this? Oh, that was very close. He almost gets mowed down through that smoke, but it looks like he could be on a flanking maneuver here. McDonald desperately needs to change sight to come and help here as Hubs finds Bassman with nothing other than a Mag-7. Oh, Hubs, what a shot! This round is over. Mason, McDonald just needs to say he foolishly waits far too long to help his team there. Completely useless on the bottom of connector, and that means this round is all said and done. A 4th on the board for the Royal Engineers. Already double what they found in their first half on Nuke. And as the time ticks away, the T's will go on a short hunt. But it'll need to say as much as they can over into this next round. They will go down long together, and McDonald will survive with a FAMAS. It's not the best weapon to save over, but it is better than nothing when your economy looks like that. And now we hit round number 11. It is still a 2-round lead for the Royal Artillery, but they have not won this half just yet. There is plenty of rounds left to play for here, and either team could come out on top. The Royal Engineers do have their work cut out for them, though. However, this does look like a 5th. McDonald, the only man with anything in this round, is going to be pivotal. If he can find multiple frags, there's a chance. But if he cannot find the multi-frags needed, this is going to be difficult. And Hubs, J-Shop, I'll go everything with a grenade as well. That is a flawless round for the Royal Engineers. That is a very, very excellent way of rounding up an anti-eco. And look at the money in their bank balance now. They are going to be set for the next 2 rounds at the very least. Even if they do lose that AWP and without, he can buy straight back into it, as can the rest of the team. It will be pistols again for the Royal Artillery here, and they are really struggling with the CT side economy. They will be taking one more eco before they buy up into the rifles, and if they lose that round as well, that spells trouble. BM, though, with the P250, a signature pistol for him, will be playing around the smoke. And as the utility rains down in mid, BM is just biding his time. He's so close. Entrance to bathroom. He's going to see a player walking around the corner. He spots his pistols. Bam! He's going to get sprung by another player, though. Runs out of ammunition, and Power's on 31. Gingerut on 72. But Gingerut and Hubs are both going to find frags, as will Hubs find a double. It's a 4 versus 2 here. So it's not looking like the pistols are going to really be able to find anything. Injured players falling off into safer positions, allowing the full health ones to take the be the padding for them, really. Gingerut in a very aggressive position is going to chase this pistol, getting a little bit over aggressive for no reason here. It's better off letting these pistol players survive into the next round. But there you have it, Gingerut wiping Bazman clean off the face of the server. Meaning it's only Bradders left with a mere USP, and this is a 6th round and a convincing round at that for the Royal Engineers. And this is now 2 rounds in a row that they have had every single player surviving. So their economy is noticeably very, very padded. 6-6 is the scoreline now, and the Royal Engineers are significantly improving as they go along on their own map pick. Been a little bit quiet this time from Bassman, BM very quiet in comparison to the last map, but Bradder's still going strong. Hubs in the meantime, very impressive. Getting a lot of key frags, as is Without. And it's good to see Without on an AWP rather than a scout, as he was for the entire time, effectively on Nuke. And this is a great play from the T side, wrapping into the back of Connector. Bradders will get one through the wall, but Power finds one as well. And the T's have full B short control. Mason O finds Ginger Nut though. That's a great frag from here. Bazman finding Without. Now a 4 versus 2 situation for the CT side to deal with. And J-Shop and Power may want to just consider saving here. They're mollied off, they're smoked off, they're surrounded by CTs here. Flashbang coming in from Bazman as well with full blind J-Shop. He doesn't swing off the back of it, and that's lucky as Power is holding that angle. And the spam comes through, giving up his position, allowing the T's to rotate off. Are they going to rotate, or are they going to save? It is yet to be seen. And it looks like they may actually be going for the rotate here. They have 37 seconds left on the clock, and they narrowly miss a timing on Mason there. Mason very, very unlucky. Will be falling off to long instead. There's 27 seconds left on the clock, and there's no A-site defender that I can see. But now the call's going to come through. Mason has heard them rotating through bathrooms. 15 seconds left to plant. They will get the bomb down, and now the 4 versus take is on. Now we're spamming early, but McDonald swings up and gets the kill. It is now a 4, make that 3 versus 1 onto J-Shop. He's on 4 HP. And there we have it. Bassman takes him down. An excellent 7th round on the board for the Royal Artillery. But their economy is not as strong as the Royal Engineers, so they will not be able to fully buy into this round. I take that back. I did not consider their loss bonus quite as much as I should have. But it looks like BM will be going for the MP9 rather than getting a drop over from one of his teammates. So it won't be a full buy completely. Perhaps BM is feeling more confident on the MP9 on this map as he hasn't had a stellar start. In fact, there are 3 players on the CT side with 6 or 5 kills, which is not something you want to be seeing going into round 14. In the meantime, Bradders and Mason doing some incredible heavy lifting here. And Without, picks BM off through a smoke this time, and BM will not be pleased with that. Molotov coming over the top onto the bomb site here. And it is a 5 versus 4 situation. Make that 5 versus 3. Hubs find Mason. He is one of the 2 key players for the Royal Artillery move now. This is a very promising round for the Royal Engineers. Will they be able to equalise in the 14th round of the first half? Bazman finds one back. That's a very important frag if they want to stand a chance here. But Bradders is unable to claw a kill onto Hubs, and it's a 4 versus 2. We've seen the Royal Artillery do some incredible things on retakes, but unfortunately this looks like too tall of an order. Especially now, Bazman will fall to the AK of J-Shop, and J-Shop will find a double on the effectively exits in the post plant. 7-7 is the scoreline. And there is just about enough money on the Royal Artillery side to squeeze a force buy in here. But the Royal Engineers have every single advantage going into the final round of the first half, which is not something I've been able to say so far in this series or so far in Lions League. As this is, of course, the first best of 3 of the season. J-Shop going to get blocked by his AWP there. A little bit of a time delay. They will be going for a long execute here. There is no one to contest them on long, but there is a sneaky Mason hiding behind a smoke. Mason now rotating off actually to take this long fight, and what he does here is effectively the deciding factor for the round. He gets spotted, does not find a kill, but both players come off with 7 and 9 HP. Mason still taking fights, finds a super key frag, but he will get taken down on the retreat by Power. 4 versus 2 once again for the Royal Engineers here. And Bradders and Bassman are not in good positions to make this one work. Having said that, finds another kill. He's still on 100 points of health, and he's picked up an M4A4. Hubs, 7 HP. Will Bradders or Bassman pick him off as they walk into bank? Hubs needs to hit a headshot here, otherwise he will be going down. And there he falls. Bassman, though, 1 HP, but it doesn't matter. Bradders finds another frag. Are they going to be able to spin this one around? Power throws a nade in. That's given up his position, but Bradders still isn't entirely sure where from. And the clock is ticking down now. He's going to tap the bomb. Power steps up, finds the frag, and it's an 8-7 scoreline for the Royal Engineers on their map pick. Excellently done there from Bradders. 15 and 11, a stellar half for him. As is the performance from Mason, but lackluster performances across the board, especially in comparison to their nuke performances for the bottom 3 players on the Royal Artillery. And they will now be switching over to the T side. And Overpass is one of those maps where it is very even if both teams are well versed and strategized. But it's still nice to have the comfort of CT side. And that is something the Royal Artillery will no longer have. They were able to string a multitude of rounds together on their T-side on nuke, but this is a very different game here. J-Shop holding an off angle. He's got lots of support, but Bradders does find the entry of the power. Are they going to opt to continue towards this site, or will they rotate off? The bomb already making its way back round through T-spawn, and it looks like this could be an A play. The defense is still split. It's a 2-2 defense on both bomb sites. So if the Royal Artillery go in hard and fast, they should be able to take this map. Or take this round, sorry. And they start the swing onto the bomb site. Rotates coming in thick and fast. And that's a dink onto Gingerut very early on. 12 HP left on the man as the site tank comes into play. Without more fall, Gingerut on the ropes as BM grabs another headshot. Mason finding Gingerut. Headshots left, right, and center. And it's a 5v2. Hubs grabs one onto Bassman, but it's a 4v2 still. Mason tapping away as he knows Hubs is in bank. P2000, a very powerful weapon, will take down Mason. But Bradders has found J-Shop. It's now a 1 versus 3, and all the T's need to do now is tuck into the post plant. Bradders a great position from him. Hubs will find BM. Will he be able to find anything more? This would have to be an ace clutch in the pistol from Hubs. He does not have a defuse kit. He is going to find McDonald. There is still time, but only just. Bradders versus Hubs in the 1v1. Bradders finds a kill. Even the player model of Hubs is frustrated. 4 kills on a single teammate helping him in that pistol round, and that's what will cost him ultimately. No defuse kit as well, and we find the equalizer in the first round of the second half here on Overpass. A force buy coming in from both teams once again. Let's see who comes out on top of this one. An early entry there from BM onto Gingerut. What an excellent frag. Has he found his footing again after a not-so-great first half? It is yet to be seen. In the meantime, I say it was a force buy from both teams, which it very much is, but 2 AKs, an MP7, a MAC-10, and an MP5 versus 2 Deagles, an MP9, and a FAMAS. I was going to say it's incredibly disadvantageous until Power pulled off that one Deag. Oh, and J-Shot finds BM on the MP9. Things are looking a little bit dicey here. Bassman does find a very key frag onto J-Shot there, entering onto the B bomb site. Now there are 2 players coming in through CT, and that could be problematic if they're not dealt with quickly. Power is very proficient with that Deagle. Will he be able to find a headshot? Yes, he will. Bradders falls. That's a key player removed. I don't know why they're not tucking. Hubs finds Bassman. McDonald looks like he won't survive for too long either. 3v1. And down goes McDonald. I don't know why they don't tuck in this post plant. And that will be a 9th round on the board for the Royal Engineers. 2 AK-47s gifted to the CTs. Now that's going to be incredibly problematic. But that is the way the cookie is crumbled, ladies and gents. And clinging on to their 1-round advantage is the Royal Engineers. And this should be a freebie round for them. 5 pistols and 1 flashbang versus the full might of the rifles. They do find without... Oh, they find without a J-shot in a grisly fashion on the pistols. And now the rotate comes in from B. They can get this bomb plant if they're fast. Grenade coming in from Power. Power's completely overwhelmed. He's going to find a grenade kill, but he dies in the Molotov. 3 versus 2. Royal Artillery, there's no way you steal this one away. McDonald needs to be so careful. Ginger Nut swings, does good damage, but isn't able to find a kill. 3v2 here, and both of the CTs stacking up from the same position. Mason peering around the corner, finds out one of their positions. Ginger Nut spamming from bank. Mason low on health. Ginger Nut falls. It's a 3 versus 1. Oh, it was only pistols to get it to this point. Now a 2 versus 1, but Hubs is on 5 HP. One bullet from any weapon will take this man down. A smoke grenade to the face would do it. Hubs though, he's going to find Bazman. Oh, McDonald, no! What a choke! That was such a gifted round, but McDonald is going to choke the final bullet. 5 HP on Hubs. Oh my goodness. Oh no, I cannot believe what I'm witnessing here. 10-8 now to the Royal Engineers after they almost lose to a pistol round. But that should have been a Royal Artillery round through and through. Oh no, right at the very end, 2 players fall to a man on 5 HP. What a stellar effort from Hubs there. Excuse me, I'm just going to grab a quick sip of water. A lot of early damage done there in the B short water. Bazman, excellent entries. 2 entries in short water. Ginger Nut finds one on the trade, but Power falls without a frag. And it now looks like very strongly an artillery advantage. I take that back as Mason gets too over aggressive. Brad is there to trade. Now a 3 versus 2. And Without and Hubs are split completely. Without is still on that A-bomb site, whilst Hubs is going to be hiding behind barrels. He's got his eye on short, but the T's are playing time. They're keeping the CTs guessing, potentially asking them or beckoning them to gamble stack. And Hubs is going to find Bradders through the smoke. McDonald is down very, very low. But McDonald jumping up on top of the boxes removes the only threat on the B-bomb site. Having said that, Without is now pushed down in towards Graffiti. Into ABC. But both of these players have left Monster, leaving Without clueless. If they both swing as a unit, they will take this round no problem. Without now making his way into short. Bazman is faster. The frag goes his way, and that's the 9th round on the board to the Royal Artillery. 10-9 scoreline still to the Royal Engineers, but look at the money on their side. They are going to be forced to play with nothing more than pistols. Hubs might buy a Deagle here, maybe a MP9, sorry. But it doesn't look like that's the case. They are just going to be running pistols with a CZ on Power. This is an incredibly close game. Far more so than our previous game on Nuke. And it will be the pistols on Long and B. Will the Royal Artillery be expecting this close fire? I tell you now, if Without swings around the corner and finds a frag, that could be game over, but no, he misses his shots, and now he's being pursued. However, Power is playing the baiting game. It's not going to matter, though, as he gets decapitated 3. Very unfortunate for him. And the CZ player falls. All the other pistols are P2000s and USPs. No Kevlar, no utility, just a dream. And BM on the Mac 10 farming kills. Hubs and Ginger Nut stand no chance up against the SMG here. BM hungry for more. Finishes off J-Shop, and now it's all down to Without. 32 points of health in the 1v5, and nothing more than a USB to play with. Means he will be exterminated by Bradders. 10-10 is the scoreline. Another equaliser. Another very, very close scoreline. And as the timer ticks down, we will be getting into the 21st round. Ladies and gents, this is now the home stretch. Both teams need 5 rounds for match point or 6 rounds for a win. Grenades raining down here into middle. And follow-ups into connector. And look at this, the Royal Engineers are on another Deagle only buy. We know how proficient, especially Power, is with these Deagles, but Bradders is the first to make his mark on the round. Clean shot onto Ginger, And now it's a 5v4. Ginger Nut just making me hungry for a biscuit at this point, as I'm sure the Royal Engineers are hungry for this round, despite having only Deagles. And with that, we'll find Mason, an excellent frag and a very, very important one. The A execute comes in hard and fast. It's only Power to defend. Will they check him behind Truck? He's cowering here for the time being. Here's some running into the Molotovs. Oh, he misses an initial shot, and that's put him down to very low, but without finds one. Power gets Bassman through the smoke. Now a 2 versus 3 situation, and weapons have been picked up for the Royal Engineers. This makes it very treacherous for the Royal Artillery. Bradders is going to be finding one. Hubs falls. And this gunfight, but McDonald's on 2 points of health. J-Shop does not need to do much to finish him off. And now Bradders has a huge task on his hands. He's going to find the first. He's going to find the second. He's going to find the ace. Oh my goodness gracious me. Bradders will ace to save the Royal Artillery from getting overrun by Deagles. 26 in 14 is this man's KD. And he is hard carrying the Royal Artillery here on T-side of Overpass. Mason, 14 in 15, has had very little impact in this half compared to what he did in the first. Bradders is a one-man army, a machine. He is blowing everyone out of the water on this entire server, and winning that round keeps them in contention. That was such a vital round for the Royal Artillery to win. Royal Engineers came so damn close, but that final Deagle shot just did not connect. Mason, though, goes down early without... Also going to ult Bradders off the face of the earth. And now it's a 5 versus 3 for the Royal Engineers. They have clawed this one back. I feel like as soon as Bradders goes down, they are just lost as a side on the Royal Artillery. The BM gets a great entry onto hubs, and things are still looking good for the time being. Power, ooh la la. Power, J-Shop, finding excellent frags. It's all now down to BM on the T side. He's on the B bomb site, but I believe he is bombless. And that's a good grenade, but it isn't going to do much to J-Shop. BM needs to be so careful here. If he does not check his angles, if he does not check his corners, this is it for him. He sees one in connector. Another one coming down to help. BM will find J-Shop, and there's no trade potential without... He's going to hear that ladder queue. Oh, this is such an important kill for BM. BM is going to be seen by without first. Oh, the swing comes through without does 19 points of health. BM a valiant effort, 3 kills in that round. It's not going to be enough, and another equalizer. This home stretch is very, very close. And here we have it, ladies and gents. 3 versus 2? Excuse me, I meant to say 3 down towards the B bomb site, 2 on A, and it looks like there's going to be a heavier A presence from the T side as they put 3 towards Playground and Fountain. Their lurk on the B bomb site will pick up one running in short, so BM does have some info, but nothing to capitalize with just yet. Mason taking a fight in the connector. As the Monster Lurk falls back to join up with the rest of the team. And now a lot of aggression in short is going to give a world of information to the Royal Engineers here. And without in Bathroom could be such a pinnacle player. He's going to go for the flank here and no one is going to check him. Smokes are not a physical barrier. Oh, but Bradders and Bassman, they do all the work they need to. That's an open A bomb site. BM finds Ginger on the flank. 5 versus 2 now. I did not expect this to happen. Oh my goodness me. This should be a 12th round on the board for the Royal Artillery. But Hubs and Power do want a say in this round before it's out. Bomb is ticking away, and now there is not enough time for Power or Hubs to realistically find anything. They need to just fall off, save their full Kevlar here. Power has a kit as well. And there we have it, a 12th round on the board. And look at the T's end on Goodwill hunting. They're looking for anyone. Pre-firing to Monster, but they aren't going to find the time to find the frags. just about clinching a lead of the Royal Artillery. And falling behind now the Royal Engineers, both in economy and rounds. This should, again, be a Royal Artillery round. Gingernet on a Deagle without opting not to buy even a pistol. Neither will J-Shop. This is an interesting way of dealing with the round. They should have at least thought they would have gone for some PT-50s, perhaps. In the meantime, there's going to be a full B execute fast off the starting block. Power opens up on the Bazman, and 3 USPs are here to deal absolute havoc. Oh, the T's are being overwhelmed. They aren't able to deal with the pistol aggression. More Power's MP9. Power's MP9's gone huge. It's now all down to Bradders once again, but the man has 6 HP. This is far too tall of an order for him. This should be nothing but a goal round for the Royal Engineers. A stunning headshot from him to try and claw that round back. But it will be the Royal Engineers with such an inferior buy, finding 12. No way that should have happened. Immediately after finding a set, they should have retreated back down to short, at least waited for some aggression from them, or just rotated up to A, but they stick with it, and they get decimated by the MP9 of Power. That is a very strong round from him. It's 26-14 on Hubs and 24-14 on Power. They are playing stellar in comparison to their nuke performances. Another full buy round from both teams here. And early aggression to short from Hubs once again. Will he be able to find anything? Spamming through the smoking connector. Won't find a single shot connecting. And neither will the T side. Every frag, every play, every piece of utility at this stage of the game is so vital to be done correctly. And Power is going to decimate BM. That is a huge loss to start off a round. And now a 2-man advantage in favour of the Royal Engineers. This round is looking incredibly promising. Power even boosted up over the signpost to deal with any further aggression from Bathrooms. And it looks like he might have another kill under his belt, and that he will. Mason forward. Power! That was disgusting onto McDonald. Now a 5 versus 1 for Bazman, and Bazman has very, very little hope in this round. He just has to try and save this AK full util and Kevlar. CTs can afford to perhaps lose one rifle here, but they don't want to go crazy on the hunt, but that's exactly what they'll be doing anyways. 3 push towards long. Bazman needs to be so careful. He desperately needs to save this weapon over and not die after time. And I think that's what the Royal Engineers are trying to do. They're trying to hunt Bazman down after time. Look at this. They've got one man waiting behind the half wall. And there we have it, a 13th round for the Royal Engineers, but the AK will be saved over by Bazman. I have just been informed by my producer that we're going to be going to a quick match pause here, I believe. And there we have it. This is a technical timeout. I'm not entirely sure what for, but I'll get back to you with the information as soon as I have it. But what a game so far, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone pulling their weight, but Gingernet having a very, very quiet game for the Royal Engineers. 9 in 20 is his score right now. He's not quite pulling his weight. But the same can be said of McDonald. He's 10 in 19. Bazman and BM not showing up anywhere near the capacity that they needed. Neither is Mason. It is still the one-man carry from Bradders. 28 in 17. Nearly double the kills of his second fragger. That is not what you want to be seeing, especially at such a tight scoreline. But just quickly, going back to that AWP shot by Power, I hope someone clipped that because that was absolutely phenomenal. What a 4K for him to find, or 3 or 4K, either way. Disgusting shots from him. But no, I cannot believe he managed to pull that off. The dropping down AWP shot onto long after getting spammed up by an SMG. No way should he have survived that onslaught, but he somehow does. And this puts Royal Artillery in quite the predicament. They have fought so hard, actually, Bradders. Bradders has fought ridiculously hard. I believe that's an ace, a 4K, and 3, if not 4 3Ks in one map for this one individual. His ADR is through the roof, 118 ADR. Great effective flashbangs as well. 46% headshot rate, the highest on the server. 1.64 KD, third in line. But Power now, after a monstrous performance, is the top performer on the server, followed shortly by Hubs. 27-14 to 26-14. Power and Hubs are the ones to look out for the Royal Engineers. And Bradders is the man to cheer on if you are supporting the Royal Artillery. And as the technical timeout comes to an end, it will be Bazman on the AK with full Kevlar and utility, followed up by a band of Merry Glocks and a Deagle on McDonald. This does not look like a convincing round for the Royal Artillery. If they lose this one, which is not particularly difficult for that to come into fruition, then we will be seeing a 14th for the Royal Engineers, and then a match point as a save will likely have to come through. However, there's only one man on site so far. They've taken full site control, and Power misses a key frag. Grenade coming through, but Gingernup finds Bradders. He's finally finding something here. Oh, the utility! It's all over. I, for a second, had hope. Bazman even being spammed down by a Glock. The bomb's gone down, but that's to no avail. The AK is lost, the round is lost, and it's a 14th on the board for the Royal Engineers. Even after that, the Royal Artillery will not be able to buy up fully onto Bazman. This is a treacherous time for the RA. 14-12 is the scoreline, and this really is the final stretch. Round number 27. There are 4 rounds left at most in regulation, and the Royal Engineers are looking to take their map pick after a hard-fought victory. Brad is going to be absolutely furious, but he's had barely any support from his entire team throughout this here game. Well, that's a slight exaggeration on my part, but at the same time, every single other player on his side is going negative, and a lot of their kills have not been particularly impactful. Solrak in chat jesting over the fact that he told BM to ban this map, and I can see why. It's not gone well for them so far, but Gingernup is low. BM proving Solrak potentially wrong, finding Power. That is a very, very, very strong start. And now they rush back over towards the same bomb site. They found a lot of success here before. Hubs is waiting in the underlines, as is Gingernup, and they will be playing retake. Bomb goes down, 4 versus 4. Post-plant advantage is firmly in the hands of the Royal Artillery. This is a must-win round for them if they want to stand any chance of bringing this to 14-14. Mason in a very difficult position to clear unless he's double swung. There we go, finds the first frag. Mason finds another without clawing one back. Now a 3 versus 2 situation. Bazman, McDonald, BM just need to play time without he's tapping the bomb. The bomb is being defused, but McDonald with a 2K spray down will save the round for the Royal Artillery and effectively save their chances of winning this game. 13 to the Royal Artillery to the 14 of the Royal Engineers. Bazman, Bradders, sorry, on 11 assists. That is rather unfortunate. But this is another must-win round for the Royal Artillery. Otherwise, the Royal Engineers take map point, and Power is desperate to make that a reality. Smoke going to be played down in front of Fountain. This is such an intense game, but J-Shop making it a lot easier by getting rid of Mason. Bradders, the Capital, is still alive, and Power misses a shot onto BM. Which means it's still a 3v5. It's still a possibility, but a very small one at that. All 3 players cooped up in Playground for the time being, barely able to find a thing. Are they just going to save here for the final round? Or what could potentially be the final round, round number 29? Power's holding such an excellent off angle here. And he's going to hit a gorgeous flick onto BM. Another one onto Bradders. And Bazman, the last man alive, gets taken down by Power as well. A 4K to his portfolio of already horrendously good frags. And it's now 15-13 to the Royal Engineers on their map pick. And this is not looking promising for the Royal Artillery. Barely able to afford Mac 10s. As I said earlier, the Royal Artillery take map 1, and the Royal Engineers standing to follow up with my prediction and find themselves a second. J Shop and Power doing all the work so far. 4 versus 3 advantage. BM is on the AWP, but he's not been particularly efficient with it in this game. If he finds one here onto the site entry, that's all well and good. It will make it a 3 versus 3, but they need to get that bomb down fast, and they need to avoid this utility. Without that's perfect utility usage. It's going to delay them even further and just make this even more of a tall order for the Royal Artillery. 3v4, it's not impossible, but it's very difficult, especially with their limited weaponry, limited utility, and almost limited time. The Sappers obviously require this game to stay in the game. But they've left only one man on B. And with 46 seconds left to go, the T's desperately need to take this B-bomb site and they need to clear Monster. Otherwise, this will all come crashing down. Oh, they see Monster. The timing on Hubs is atrocious. McDonald finds the frag, grabs himself an M4. Now a 3v2. Without and Ginger not have to retake, McDonald will get the bomb down, and now the RA needs to play passive. Without, that's a great off angle. Grenade coming over the top, and a flashbang though. Bassman finds Ginger Nut without, scuffs a couple of shots, and it's now a 1 versus 2. Now a 1 versus 1 without on 17. Make that 21 HP, sorry. It's up against the AWP of BM. This is not a weapon you want to be using here, BM. There's far too much pressure and far too much can go wrong. Just swing with your pistol. Without, taps the bomb. BM has no idea whether he's defusing or not. And Without is going to win the game! Why BM decides to retake with an AWP is beyond me. That is a terrible decision on his part. And that will be a 16th round for the Royal Engineers. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be going to a third map. We will be going to Train. And wow, I think we all deserve a third map after such a stellar performance from both teams on Overpass. With, again, I'm going to have to say Bradders, my sort of player of the game so far, purely because he's been the only person to show up fully on both maps. Power, excellent map from him, especially as the game went on. Stunning AWP kills. He completely styled on BM and did not stand a chance, and I still do not know why he attempted that retake with the AWP. Swing first with a pistol, assess the situation, then maybe come back in with the AWP, or grab an AK from your fallen teammate, and the round would just be so much easier, and potentially could have gone to 15-14, and who knows, an overtime after that. But it's just those small actions that all add up, and well, what can I say? This is now a third map affair. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be right back after another short break as we get the players into the final server. We will be meeting our two teams on Train. And Train, the first map that I ever casted for Lions League Season 2, is coming to be the final deciding map for the first cast of Season 3. I will see you all in just a couple of minutes. I'll be right back. And there we have it. I've unmuted my mic in vMix and we are back. My apologies for that. And we are back for the third map of the series. And what a series we've had so far. Royal Artillery and Royal Engineers have been out over Nuke, which was a dominant win for the Royal Artillery, and then Overpass, which was a very, very closely contested game. That was, of course, taken by the Royal Engineers, which results in us going to Train, our decider map. And what a map to be a decider. It is so... I mean, it's always entertaining when Train is the final map left over, especially in a Lions League context. So many incredible third maps have occurred on Train, and it is always a pleasure to watch how they pan out. I am super, super excited, and we could not have more of a sort of perfect lineup for both teams for this map. We've got BM and Power, the two AWPers, and without, as well as a secondary AWPer for the side of the Royal Engineers. They're going to be coming into play in a big way on Train. Train is a very long-range fight-based map. For example, you've got B upper towards connector. You've got down the ramp on B towards anywhere on P. They're all a pretty long range fight. You've got all the way down Ivy. You've got A main to Ivy, A main to connector. This is an AWPer's playground. It is an AWPer's haven. There is so much they can do, and they can be so impactful. I'll be honest with you, I think this could be a huge deciding factor. I think whichever AWPer shows up to the greater capacity will carry this into a victory. Of course, it's not all about the AWP, so if you have a stellar entry fragger, if you have Bradders popping heads like he's been able to do so far, beautiful, crispy, clean headshots across the board, pretty much both first and second game. He did fall off a little bit to the end of that second game. He struggled to get a couple of the frags that he did get, but overall, he's had a stellar best-of-3 series so far, and he is my current MVP. He has my genuine vote for MVP so far, but that could all change on this third map. If he gives another killer performance, then goodness me, win or he deserves it. There is still a lot at stake here. This is the opening game of Lions League Season 3. Obviously, we're not crowning a champion just yet, but this matchup alone is going to be one of the most exciting of the entire tournament. And, I mean, the quality get better from here. The most to look at, they will have some inspiration. But we are going to be getting straight into the knife rounds here on Train. This is, of course, the deciding map, so it is a knife science format. And no one getting anything done so far, but as soon as I say that, without and Bazman find one, J-Shop and Mason find one. 3 versus 3 now. Ginger Nut finding hubs with a bit of help from Big JD. Friendly damage, but it's Bradders to find another multi-kill. Even in the knife round, this man is popping off. And it will be the Royal Artillery to decide which side they would like to start on. And there we have it. Royal Artillery starting on the CT side. And starting CT side on Train is a dangerous advantage if the Ts let them spiral a couple of rounds together. On the flip side, the Ts really need to try and win the pistol second and third round if they want to stand a good chance on Train. This is by far the most CT-sided map in the game. I believe it was 50 on CT versus 46 on the T side. It's going to be a pretty default setup so far. The Ts aren't going to do anything overly aggressive early on. And I like the fact that the Royal Artillery have 2 on B, but unfortunately that will come to bite them in this round. BM, stuck in a firefight, finds Ginger Nut, does not find the second, but J-Shop has done, or taken a lot of damage, and BM, that's huge. J-Shop goes down, without will fall, and it's all down to Power in a 1v5 in the pistol round. And he misses the initial P250 shot, thinks he lands it, turns away, and Big JD gets the easiest frag of his round career. 5 alive for the Royal Artillery after that pistol round. 0 alive for the Royal Engineers, and not a single frag going their way. Excellently done by the RA. This means that the Royal Engineers cannot force up even if they wanted to. There would be nothing for them to buy but Deagles. And it's really not worthwhile, especially on a map like Train. SMGs are very powerful, especially if used in surprise tactics, pushing out fast onto A with smokes, for example. I'm reading chat now, and a couple of people are informing me that this map is, I quote, BM's baby. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he fares on this map. Hopefully a lot better than Overpass, where he struggled to even get a .5, I believe, KD. This is going to be a very slow round from the T side, but BM opens it up with a level on the MP9. Power, though, decimating Mason at that P250. He does take good damage, and that allows Big JD to swing in once more. Taking us to a 2 versus 4 for the T side. We have one player in Pop, though. And J-Shop finds BM as he's preoccupied with hubs. This makes it a 3 versus 1 situation. At this range to be using, and Bradders obliterates J-Shop, and rightly so. Famas versus Glock at that range. Famas should reign supreme. And now a second round on the board for the Royal Artillery. As a full rifle comes up for what are both teams. Limited utility on a lot of the T side. They don't have as many flashbangs as I'd like, especially for this kind of map. They do have plenty of smoke, so that is something going in their favour. And Bradders is the one scrimping on utility for the CT side. There will be a double aggression into B upper. A one-way smoke in play here. Bradders peering over the top of it, needs to be very careful, as is Bazman, that they don't get caught by the AKs here. But Bradders finds one above the smoke, falls back off. Bazman is there to does J-Shop so in the meantime, we'll continue pressing on towards B as one player's holding steadfast in Pop Dog. That big J, and he avoids taking a ton of nade damage there as he falls back slowly. The T's are spread out across the map. Is on A, and that's a good grenade. And BM, Mason O, doing everything they need to decimate their opponents. This was a full round for them, and they have not found anything more than a single kill. Instead, just eating damage. This is a bunch of free AKs gifted to the Royal Artillery here if they know where to find them. And a 4 versus 2 advantage for the CT side with 30 seconds left to go has effectively given this round up to the Royal Artillery. Shots coming off from without. He has now been spotted, and this should cause a couple of hungry CTs to enclose. Now have to help him out. But this is it. That's the round. They are going to try and defend the AKs up by the entrance to the A bomb site. And they will do that successfully. A single AK will be picked up by the Royal Artillery. But that's not really a consolation for the fact they are now going 3-0 up on their C side. And the money is not good for the RE. Apologies if my voice is dropping out. I've had a couple of issues with my Wi-Fi router in recent days. Hopefully you should be able to hear me clearly again now. But as I said, it's a rocky force buy from the Royal Engineers here. P250, full utility on hubs, but I'm not... That's going to help them. The smoke comes down. Jumping down onto the B bomb site is already 3 Ts. One of them gets mowed down, but Power's hot on his Mac 10. Power rushing through the backlines, hunting for even more CTs, but he won't be able to find them this deep into the site. He is being careful, clearing every angle, but Bradders is caught in a very rocky position. If he manages to get away with that, that would be incredible, but no, Power finds 2 in the backlines, and Power has won this round for the RE. I said he was getting without any CT, but I was very much mistaken. And off the back of that hero play, he's going to find 4 on the Mac 10 and And there we have it. The Royal Engineers find their first round on the board. And the money is not strong enough on the Royal Artillery side for them to buy up into this round. BM, savage, 7-2 right now. But Basman, 0-2. Needs to pick things up a little bit. This should be a round for the RE. They've gone for a B stack on the CT side, and already the one solo A defender has been decimated. I think they may try and save, well, not save these weapons, but just not allow the RE to farm them. However, having said that, Hubs is going to be chased down by Big JD. The USP finds his head without firing back, and it's now a 4 versus 2 situation for the Royal Engineers. The post plant has gone in their favour, and not a single weapon saved over, it seems. Batman on a PT-50 peeking around the corner, gets his head taken clean off. And that will be a second round on the board to the Royal Engineers. As we come into round 6 here, the CTs are on nothing but pistols again, but they do have 5 grenades at their disposal. They will be chucking them, I believe, into a main, but that won't come to any avail as no damage is dealt there. Basman, though, that's a very key frag. He finds Hubs in pop, though, grabs an M4 for his troubles, and jumps out in time. Basman and Brothers, they're going to find one more in a main. Ginchinut finds Basman, but Mason on the trade. This is now a 4 versus 2 situation from just pistols, and the grenades don't even do any damage. This is purely off of aim. This is incredible from the Royal Artillery. Without is on 2 HP, and J-Shop is figuring. Big JD narrowly avoids getting taken down himself there, but look at the health. Without is just not in a fit position to do anything here. He's tapping away at heads on top of Great Trey, and they just need to play this safe on the CT side. No utility left for either of these two players on the T side. One grenade from Mason could do all the damage needed. J-Shop lucky to escape with his life there, and the grenade was just a little bit short. They will be running away now with the bomb, and it looks like they're going for B. BM desperately needs to rotate here, but they do have Mason. And is that Mason in the back lines? Mason has gone behind them, but has somehow not noticed them walking back down the stairs. Mason, no, in fact, he has noticed them going back down the stairs. So no rotations towards the B site have been called. That's really good information play there. And now time is running low. Bradders needs to check Ivy, otherwise this could get messy very quickly. 20 seconds left on the clock, though. They've given up their position with pre-fires. And now they're still going for this when they really should just be running away with these AKs without 2 HP. He does find an entry. Big JD to trade. J-Shot finds one back, but BM finishes the round in style. There we have it, a 4th round on the board for the Royal Artillery after nothing but pistols and grenades. What a stunning round from them. No way should they have stood a chance of winning that, but the initial blinded flashbang P250 kill and Pop Dog is what set things in motion. And then I have no idea what happened as they ran out of A main on the RB side, but they are crumbling. Nades out as they run down Pop Dog, and nades down as they run down Olaf, and they just allow themselves to be mowed by nothing more than pistols. This is where the solo B-site defender could be problematic. A stat coming up towards B upper halls, and flashbangs will be raining down in just a moment. Bomb has been dropped for the time being, so there is the potential for rotation. And now there's a lot of CT action towards connector and B. The playing of time by the RE is very, very effective. Sappers toying with the minds of the gunners. This one really could go either way. But it looks as if the B take is coming in thick and fast in just a moment. Look at the utility lineups coming through. J-Shop is there to lurk. But I think the numbers up as BM starts to rotate over. Bradder's coming through as well, and they've rotated just in the nick of time. They push through the smoke. They avoid being taken out by the AWP of power. Basman needs to not get flanked here. And now they're running all the way back to A. Oh, but there's a full CT rotation. The A bomb site is completely free. The CTs have failed at their own game. They early rotate, they gamble stack, they read it right, but now they've overcommitted to the rotate, not leaving a single man on alert. Bradders finds Hubs. That's an excellent start. Mason! Oh no, that's such a choke. That would have been an absolute freebie. Definitely would have got things into motion, but without will fall. Jace up the trade. 3 versus 3 on the retake. Ginchinut finds Basman. And this is not looking promising. And that's the round. Bradders falls away onto the B bomb site. And it was the over rotation what done it. If Mason finds a single frag on the bomb site, I feel like that round would have gone very, very differently, but he whiffs his spray onto different. That was the nail in the coffin. 4-3 now as the Royal Engineers find a third. I'd say to make this competitive, the Royal Engineers are aiming for 6 rounds, and the Royal Artillery, to make this quick, are aiming for 10. But the way the RE are playing at the moment, I'd say that would be overly ambitious. So 9 or 8 for the Royal Artillery to get the job done. But 9 or 10 would obviously be preferable. And power to open up onto BM is going to be costly for the CTs off the bat. Bradders finding Ginger Nut through a smoke is a saving grace. Yet again, very, very prominent player is Bradders. On every single map, I've said his name a multitude of times, and he's always been the star player for the RA, just keeping them in every one of these games. But unfortunately, he will be cut down to 9 HP by an AWP shot there. He still finds without. J-Shop finally trading, but he finds Mason at not Bradders. The low HP player is in the danger zone. And that's a great swing from Hubs down to Bradders. Bradders still making moves with 9 points of health. He'll go into the connector to reload. Basman, now low on HP as well, will fall back up Pop Dog. Both players very low, but the difference is Bradders has found 3 already. Not a single teammate chiming in to help so far, which is very disappointing to see. This cannot be the one-man Bradders show again. The RA cannot afford for that to happen, as Bradders is not strong enough to carry them all. Having said this, BM is 8-5 and Big JD is 6-5. He's not completely alone here. He does have help from his teammates, unlike the second half of Overpass. And now as the clock ticks down, there's no hope for a retake, so both players will be going into Ivy to save an MP9 with full Kevlar and an M4 with full Kevlar, a kit and a flash. Definitely the right choice here. No point going for exits, because if you lose one of those rifles, or MP9 for that matter, it's game over. Now the RA's money is abysmal here. They do have enough to force up pistols around Bradders and Bassman, and one of them could even drop an SMG over, but I don't know if that's going to be a reasonable decision. It is the equalising round now, and if the RE can keep up this kind of momentum, I am worried for the Royal Artillery, as this could start to slip away from them very, very quickly. And it's going to be a fast Olaf play here. Big JD with nothing more than a USP won't be able to find a thing. Bradders does find power. Bradders finds J-Shop. Hubs with a trade, Mason with another. It is a 3 versus 2 now. After a valiant effort from the CTs without... He's going to get trapped in Olaf. After BM takes down his teammate, but Bassman is there to pick up the pieces. 5th round on the board. And we go to our 10th round, still near neck and neck. Ari will be looking to equalise again here, but their money is not the strongest. However, a full buy with full utility coming through by Big JD for the Royal Artillery. And a full deal buy with the exception of a PT-50 on Ginger Nut coming across for the Royal Engineers side here. Will they be able to pull off what the Royal Artillery did in the previous round? This would be a huge round for the RE to take away. But they are being delayed a lot by CT-sided utility, and that is great delaying from the CTs here. If they can buy as much time as possible, it will make things more difficult for the pistols, and they will be forced to frantically rush. BM takes down the first. Bassman, here's the players rushing on, but Power with a double D finds Baz. Now a 4 versus 4 retake situation as Hubs finds Bradders. Oh, dearie me. BM with a hand and op frag, though. Take things back into contention. 3 versus 2. Big J BJD looking for a frag down. Oil isn't successful just yet, and BM needs to be so careful. There's one in the backline, but Mason deals with the problem. It's now all down to J-Shop on the Deagle. 3 versus 1 here. He swings, he misses. BJD storming onto the bomb site, and that's a 6th round to the Royal Artillery. Excellently played by them. But of course, props to Power and Hubs for some nutty 1Ds coming through on their part. Only 2 rounds separate these two teams. Again, this is a very, very close matchup. This is far more like what I expected to see. Nuke was the anomaly here. Nuke was a dominant performance from the Royal Artillery, but that has not since been replicated. Perhaps the confidence got to their heads a little bit too much. They thought it would be a walkover on Overpass, but unfortunately, they lose that by 3 small rounds. Smoke spam unsuccessful for both sides, but with that we'll find Bradders early, and that is a huge, huge downside. Mason looking the complete wrong way will be felled by Power. Power with all the entries. Big JD finally claws one back. He's another one behind the bomb site. Spams on through, and they swung the advantage into their favor again. Power quickly shuts that down as Bassman is coming through Ivy. He has been smoked off. Will he opt to push through this? He's being fast held, hard held by Power. If he does go through this, it does not bode well for him. Oh, they're looking at each other through the smoke. Oh my goodness. Oh no, Bassman, he sneaks on past. Does great damage, but not the kill. And there we have it. Power with a 4K. That was a superb round there from Power. And the Royal Engineers claw back a 5th. They are 1 round away from the threshold I've given them. And the Royal Artillery are going to have to pick up their game very, very quickly. Power 11-6 right now. Excellent stuff from him. I believe this is a tactical timeout for the time being. I'm assuming it's a Royal Artillery called one, and there we have it, the end of the tac timeout. Bassman 3-7, not good enough. Mason 4-6, not good enough. BM 12-7, that is impressive, as is Bradders 11-6. Big JD 9-7, that's good as well. 11-6 on Power. In fact, Power the only man doing admirably on the Royal Engineers is carrying this side. Again, another entry. Excellent stuff. BM goes down. Not a word in edgeways. I'd love to see the Power versus BM statistics. Oh, on Mason as well, going down to 16 points of health. That's rough for him. Things are not looking good here for the Royal Artillery side. Five versus 4 here. Oh, Bassman, that's a great shot. Now 4 versus 4, but Power again. He's so prominent. Bradders does trade him out with a Deagle. Now a 3 versus 3. Health relatively similar across both sides. And Mason, out of nowhere, finds another. Back to a 2 versus 2, but the health advantage this time swinging with the Royal Artillery. And a 1-dig from Big JD means it's now a 2v1. They're chasing him around the bomb site. The bomb will get tapped. J-Shop swings on through, but it's a double swing. Excellently done by the Royal Artillery. A 7th round on the board. 7-4 line now. And this is looking good once again. Big JD saves the AWP across. Bradders grabs an AK. And it's the money of the T side that's now struggling. Ladies and gents, Bushgun are extending an open invite to the British Army Esports Discord server, where there is a current watch party going on. A cross-team watch party, so do feel free to get involved, military or civilian. In the meantime, this is going to be a very fast rush from the T side. If they can take these CT by surprise, get them surrounded, this is a said and done round, and that's exactly what's happening. BM finds one and falls off. The Power is hungry. Power is so good. 3 kills to his name on entries, and it's all down to Bassman. And Hubs just wipes him clean from the face of the earth. A double up setup on T side. It's not even going to matter. Power on 3, Hubs on 2, Royal Engineers on 6, and the Royal Artillery stunned. Well, that was just absolute insanity. And that's what I said about SMGs and a bit of utility. Fast taking an A-bomb site is a very effective strategy, especially if the CTs are spaced out, not prepared for trade, and you smoke them off. Oh, Hubs. Hubs, that is such a clean 2K spray down, and this already looks like a 7 for the Royal Engineers. Brothers, that is just mischievous. I think this is my favourite ever Mag 7 compilation in this here best of 3. Brothers find another one, but shut down quickly by Power. Power and Ginger finish the deal, seal the deal, and that's a 7th on the board for the Royal Engineers. They equalise once again. Royal Artillery desperately need to find this round. Bazman 4 in 10, Mason 5 in 9. They have not seen a glimpse of replicating their first game performances, and that is really hurting the Royal Artillery's chances here. Oh, Power, another entry, tearing through a rifler. Another entry, Big JD falls, another entry! Mason will fall as well to the hungry AK of Power. Power has just scored himself a 4K. He's on for an ace in the final round of the half against a force buy. With nothing more than an AK, he's gone in dry, no utility required. And he's just aced in the last round of the half. What a monster. Power, the only man doing anything on the RE side. 22 in 7. Goodness gracious me, ladies and gentlemen. 22 in 7. This is just a dominant performance from him. If his teammate came up to help him as well, it would probably be more like a 10-5, 11-4 half. It's just the fact that Power is doing so much of the lifting that they aren't fully able to accomplish more than 8 rounds. But it doesn't matter. 8 rounds on your T side is incredible. It is so strong. But the Royal Artillery will be looking to win their 6th pistol round of the day here. Big JD and Bazman find the first. Pistols out, pushing the A-bomb site. It's been taken, and Bazman, wow, gets taken down by J-Shot. Big JD finds without. J-Shot with another trade. 3 versus 3 situation here. J-Shot doing everything so far. Big JD finally takes down the man, the myth, the legend. 3 versus 2. The retake is on. And Gingerut just gets aggressive. He knows he has to, and he does it well. Bradders at range with the Glock, isn't able to find anything just yet, and now it's a 1 versus 2. Could this be the first pistol round defeat for the Royal Artillery? And yes, it is. 9th round on the board for the Royal Engineers, and things look dicey for the Royal Artillery.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Could this be where the Royal Engineers finally bag themselves a convincing lead? Can they catapult off a great pistol round? It is yet to be seen here on the first series final map of Lions League Season 3. Gingerut, a double entry onto Mason and Bradders, but traded out finally by BM. And this gives them time to go back up Pop Dog and readjust themselves. Power, though, in a prime position. He's also working with Hubs. They've got them trapped in A up. If they don't go towards B, they know they've gone back to T-spawn. Bazman gets the info he needs. Sees there's a FAMAS waiting for them. They have a pretty good idea there's a man at the bottom of Pop Dog. And BM now with an MP9 of his own making his way towards Ivy. I don't know if they'll expect this, but he's going alone with the bomb, and this is probably going to be costly. Bazman spamming on down with a Glock. Isn't going to find anything just yet. And Power finds Bazman. Bomb still making its way down. Ivy, and BM does get the kill. Will be spotted by Top Green. Will he find his way out of this awkward situation? Grabs an M4. Yes, he will. With that will fall. 1 versus 2. And there's a player on each bomb site for him to deal with. If he gets rid of one, he should be able to take this in a 1v1. Flashbang coming through, but now they're both pushing towards CT. Oh, this is huge. They're stacking up in the connector. They're ready to rotate on either side. I don't know why they're posting 2 players on B, though. They just heard him Ivy. There's no way he could have got to B that fast. And now he hears them running back through connector, surely. Apparently not. BM still biding his time. If he plants the connector, it's all over. 12 seconds left on the clock, and he's actually going to push into this. I don't know what he's doing. He had a free bomb plant! And now there's no bomb plant money for the Royal Artillery side, and a round going free to the Royal Engineers. I understand what he was going for, but it just wasn't the best play in that situation. It's now 10-7 to the Royal Engineers, and for the first time, they have a convincing lead. This is the first full gun round of the half. So if the Royal Artillery lose this one, their money is completely reset and things do not look good for them. That will be an 11-7 scoreline to the Royal Artillery, allowing them to plunge further into double digits. This has been a very long matchup now. No doubt the players are getting tired. This has been a full length, at times scrappy, at times incredibly well fought, best of 3. And as you can see, the Royal Artillery really are not hitting the shots they know they are supposed to. Bradders and Bassman, a great drop down on Pop Dog there, decapitating without. Barely taking any damage in return. Ginger as well, taking fire, falls off to a safer position, wrapping around the bomb train and now holding for a push. However, look at this Ivy flank. 2 players in Ivy, bomb in tow as well. All they need to do is call that this A site is clear after they get rid of J-Shop. J-Shop is just around the corner. They need to check the angle. They don't check the angle, but Mason's there to trade from Pop Dog, and this should be a said and done round for the RA, sorry. Bloody hell, Power, double spray down. How's he done this? Taps the bomb, switches to an AK, and now a 1v2. Bassman, thankfully there to stop Power's abomination of the post plant. But Power now 25-8. 25-8. On the flip side, Bassman and Mason on 6 kills each. Going into round number 19, that is appalling. They need to step things up as soon as they possibly can. Bear in mind, the 6 kills were on CT side. They're on T side now. This is a lot harder to frag on, especially if you're not designed for entry at all. But oh my goodness, Hubs, what a shot to Brothers without as well, finding more. Big JD trading, Ginger up finding another. It's a 2v3, the Pistols have done it. There's no way Mason finds his way out of this. Oh, he finds another 1v1. He's got 3 HP, and without his tail behind him, he's going to find the final shot needed, and that's an 11th on the board for the Royal Engineers, and an embarrassment for the Royal Artillery. Goodness me, what a performance in this second half. In fact, first half and second half from the RE. They turn a disadvantage into their favour, get 8 rounds on their T side, and now they are storming on their CT. First fast B rush coming through here from the Royal Artillery, chasing away the only CT defender. Big JD finally finishing off. As the T's now pushed down towards deep B, Mason finds Power, Hubs does trade. Mason gets another, it's now a 3v1. J-Shop left all alone in connector. Gun upgrade grabbed by Mason. Reload heard by J-Shop. And J-Shop is realistically going to want to run away from this. And an 11-9 scoreline is what we will be looking at here. A little bit of a hunt will be coming in. Mason hungry for that. Sorry, BM, despite the low health, hungry for another frag. He is on a MAC 10 in fairness, but he does want to save his bullshit Mutil. J-Shop could be gifted a freebie here. He sees him behind the bomb train, but it's too late to peek back. And thankfully, 3 are alive for the RE, so that will need to buy up fully into this round. And their economy will be all right for the next. Having said that, an AK is dropped over, so it will be harder for them to buy up. But This is a 9-11 scoreline now. It's not said and done yet. There's no any means, excuse me, by any means is this said and done. Without, though, getting aggressive in A main, he hears these smoke lineups and also picks up on the rotation. This can cause early rotations from the CT side to B as he himself flanks over towards that site. J-Shop, standing alone with an M4 on the B bomb site, is now going to be joined by Gingerna. BM already out onto the site looking hungry for this frag. Will J-Shop pick up on it? He does adjust his aim in time, finds BM, goes for another spray down, finds Big JD. But the kills come in for Bradders. Bradders leading the charge, looking for more. 3 versus 2, and J-Chop is low. Mason, though, at risk of falling. Hubs, in the meantime, with an MP9 in the back of sight, getting stuff done. J-Shop forced out into the open. Will get swung by Bassman. That's a super important frag. Hubs, though, finds Mason and is now pushing up towards Grey Train. 2 versus 1, but the health is so low on Bassman. He's spamming away at Bradders. Bassman is unable to swing without taking pretty much unnecessary risk. Hubs is dancing around and he will find Bassman. No smoke in tow. Bradders needs to play this one so carefully. He has a Molotov for the bomb, but the bomb is going to be tapped. Bradders realizes this is a fake. And, oh no. Oh no, Hubs has missed the Molotov. A Molotov comes in from Bradders. Bradders swings as well. And it's a 10th round on the board for the Royal Artillery. That was such a poor... Great. I am very sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I just lost connection to the Wi-Fi across my entire house. I've been having a couple of problems lately with the hubs. And here I see a 1 versus 1, and the Royal Artillery will be equalizing off the back of a 4K from Big JD. What a stellar performance. I very much apologize once again for the Wi-Fi cutting out there, ladies and gentlemen. I will try and get that fixed for the next stream. But we are back, and we are looking at a very strong performance. A very strong comeback from the Royal Artillery here. I did not expect them to be this proficient at it, but now Gingernut's down on a P90. This is not looking good. BM with an entry onto power. Finally, he is facing his demons in quite a literal sense. He takes down his biggest issue. Gingernut finds Mason, but Brad is there to trade. 4 versus 3 situation now for the Royal Engineers. My, oh my. Look at this. The man advantage and only one defender on the B-bomb site once again. It will be Hubs hiding behind Grey Train as Big JD comes in through Ivy on a flank. Big JD swinging wide finds J-Shot. Excellent headshot from him. The A-bomb site is now going to be clear. I say that without will find Big JD finding the back of his head, but BM, what a frag! Finding Hubs through the edge of the bomb train. A headshot with the AWP through a wall. Now a 3 versus 1 situation for the Royal Artillery here. How is this one going to pan out? My, oh my, it's now a 12-11 scoreline to the Royal Artillery after a very hard-fought comeback. I believe this is their 4th round in a row now. The Royal Engineers have got sloppy. Power still 28 in 13. The rest of his team have not come to play just yet. J-Shop 15 and 14, which is admirable. Hubs 21. He will find Bradders on the exit, and that is an important frag to find. A further economy damage done to the T side, but they can buy up into this one just about. 12-11 is the scoreline. Let's see who closes this one out. Bradders already out on top of the bomb train. So aggressive. Hungry for these entries. Power in the meantime, top of blue. Mason is none the wiser, but Bradders certainly is, as he will take him down with relative ease without spamming down. But J-Shop to finish. Bradders will fall early. 4v4 situation now, but Ivy has been taken by the T side. And J-Shop could be at risk. Mason spamming on down, keeping their attention, and Big JD with the swing will find the frag that's ultimately needed to entry. Without those, still in prime position. Takes Mason out of the equation, but BM and Big JD find exactly what they need, and now it's all down to Hubs. They aren't going to check this man. This man is cowering with a deagle behind the bomb train, and only now does he start to move. I can't believe he hasn't been checked here. But the bomb, where is the bomb? Bomb left outside of A main, it would seem. The bottom of the staircase, and they've gone to grab that, and this will cause Hubs to rotate. I think this may even have been heard by BM. And there we have it. It's a free A bomb site and a free round for the Royal Artillery. A 13-11 scoreline, effectively guaranteed. Royal Artillery are very eager not to give up this win. They had such an incredible first game, and they narrowly missed taking it in the second. Bradders still performing out of his mind. Standing almost toe-to-toe with Power, 28 in 14. That's a very impressive scoreline. A 2 KD. As I said, whilst it is important to have a star player, it's also important to have an effective team strategy. Hubs, excuse me, does well to get away with one exit frag there, but will get mown down. And whilst the economy is still struggling for the T side, what is important is they are making these rounds work. BM now joining the fray. In fact, BM is out-fragging Bradders. And Big JD on equal ground. Basman and Mason, really the only people not showing up here. 9 and 10 kills respectively. Bradders, another entry, but Power there to trade with the AWP. He's so proficient with the big green. He's looking for more. He knows that there are more coming towards this A bomb site, and the bomb itself will be in A main. But for a quick change of plans, the bomb makes its way up towards the rest of this teams in B. They are going for a B execute by the looks of things here, and Ginger already down to 19 points of health, forced to run back. He will be carrying the back of the B bomb site, desperately trying to delay this plant, but Mason, what a running shot, good lord. Now a 4 versus 3, make that 3 versus 3 as Power again finds a kill with the AWP. I believe that is now a 30 bomb for him. What was that, Mason? That was just idiotic. BM in the meantime finding a trade, brings us back to a 2v2, but Power finds Batsman. It's all down to BM on the AWP now. Power does not know that he's already on the bomb site. And BM will take down Power. Now a 1 versus 1. BM versus without. BM needs to be so careful. BM is going to win the round. 14-11 to the Royal Artillery. BM does everything he needs to and picks up a triple as last man alive. A brilliant, vital clutch for the Royal Artillery. And look at the economy on the CT side. They won't be able to fully invest. And this looks like it could be a 15th for the Royal Artillery. Things are really heating up here in our first best of 3, our final map for the start of Lions League Season 3. And what a way to start BM onto Power once again. 32 frags for Power will not be enough to stop the BM train. With nothing more than a Flame Test 5-7 and a couple of players surrounding him with pistols. are going to be holding down this A bomb site. J-Shock takes damage, falls off. Smoke drops to delay. BM, another opening kill. Hubs falls. 3 versus 5 for the CTs here. It looks like they will be playing retake. J-Shot forced off the angle. Goes for the repeat, but Basman and Mason find a kill each. Ginger Nut, last alive, will be in Pop Dog. If he drops down here, he's going to die. Bradders finds him anyway. 15 rounds to the Royal Artillery. They were at a 4-round deficit, but now they are winning by 4 rounds. The Royal Engineers have just stopped. They've hit a brick wall. They were running the marathon. It was all going well, but then they just tired out in the final home stretch. Unable to drag themselves across the finish line, especially if they can't win this one. This could be the last round of an incredible best-of-3 series. Royal Artillery on 15. They have the equipment, they have the weaponry, but now they have lost BM. BM has been instrumental so far, but Power removes him early. BM on 28 to Power's now 33. Abysmal frags, and abysmal in the finest of senses. Abysmal for the Royal Artillery to deal with. Another shot rattles off, but it won't find anything. Ginger Nut again holding the close angle on ramp. Doesn't change anything up, and that allows Bradders to pre-fire. The beat bomb site has been lost. Another rotation comes in, but they don't draw a full one this time. There's still a player in Pop Dog. He's going to be spamming, but Mason! Oh my good lord! How does he win this fight? 4 versus 3, without with a grenade, without with a headshot. Now a 2 versus 3. This is all down to how Without plays it here. Big JD finally takes him down. There's another player in Old Bomb and one in Connector. Big JD is low as all hell, and Bradders needs to come and help, but Big JD still finds J-Shot Power in a 1 versus 2. This is for the game. This is for a lifeline. Power with a USPS one-tap finds the head of Big JD. All now down to Bradders. Makes noise on the ladder, but he comes back down. He doesn't realise Power hasn't heard him. He's going to play time for as long as he possibly can. And I think Power is committed to this A-bomb site now. Bradders, all he needs to do is go B, and this round is 100% secure, but Power dancing around this bomb site has not given up the fight just yet. Oh, but he's been spotted as he changes weapons. No, what are you doing? Bradders, you do not have enough time for the B bomb site right now. You need to take this fight, and Power will be playing time for Bradders. Bradders will get the kill. 16-11, ladies and gentlemen. The Royal Artillery will be taking the first game of the season, and what an opening game for Lions League Season 3. Goodness gracious me, ladies and gentlemen, I could not be more impressed with the performance of both teams. What a matchup we have just witnessed. Incredible, incredible stuff. But of course, there has to be a winner, and our winner today was the Royal Artillery. The Gunners, they came out strong. They came out swinging on Nuke. They obliterated the Sappers. Sappers came back in a very closely contested game, just about clinching a overpass win. But on train, it looked like they had it in the bag as they started to progress in their CT half. But then after winning the initial 3 rounds, in fact, they stopped. They hit a brick wall and they were not able to recover at all. And what a stellar comeback and win by the Royal Artillery. BM, what a clutch to keep them in contention for that final couple of rounds. And of course, my personal MVP for today has to be Bradders. A stellar, stellar performance across all 3 maps. Very consistent. A star player in my books. And yeah, just many congratulations to him. People at home, who was your MVP of today's maps? I mean, for the first map, for me, it was Bradders. For the second map, for me, it was probably Power. For the third map, back to Bradders again. So my overall MVP was Bradders. But I'd like to get your inputs as well. Okay, Gunners have also voted for Bradders, as has Solrak. The votes are coming in. And I think, yeah, it's just a very, very well-deserved MVP there. So a huge congratulations to him. Very, very well played. And a huge congratulations to everyone on the server for providing a quality opening match to Lions League Season 3. You can join us again tomorrow for some, I believe, League of Legends action. I will just check that. Indeed, tomorrow is the Royal Engineers again versus the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers in a League of Legends matchup at 7 p.m. GMT. That looks to be another stellar game. I can't wait to be there watching alongside my fellow League of Legends casters. Thank you so much to everyone for coming out tonight. What a stunning game. This has been a really, really great stream for both me and Alex. We very much enjoyed ourselves. I apologize for my Wi-Fi cutting out in the Equalizer 11-11 round. I tried as quickly as possible to get it back up, and thankfully I just about got it in by the end of the round where Big JD got a stunning 4K in the 1v1 clutch. All right, that's all from me for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to reach out to me on the Lions League or British Army Esports Discords after the game if you have any questions about the rest of the league or have any suggestions for the broadcast. Thank you all for coming. I've been Tom Taylor or Sneaky Bicky TTV on Twitch and Twitter, and this is me signing out for the night. Have a wonderful rest of the week, ladies and gents, and have a great month.